The Project Gutenberg ebook of the Liberty Minstrel. This ebook is for the use of anyone anywhere in the United States and most other parts of the world at no cost and with almost no restrictions whatsoever. You may copy it, give it away or reuse it under the terms of the Project Gutenberg license included with this ebook or online at www.gutenberg.org. If you are not located in the United States, you will have to check the laws of the country where you are located before using this ebook. Title: The Liberty Minstrel. Author: George Washington Clark. Release date: July 16, 2007. Ebook number 22089. Language: English. Credits: produced by Carlo Traverso, Collective PM for Music, Linda Cantoni, and the online distributed proofreading team at http://www.pgdp.net. This file was produced from images generously made available by the Library of Congress. Music transcribed by Linda Cantoni and the PGDP music team. Start of the Project Gutenberg ebook. The Liberty Minstrel transcriber's notes. The MIDI and PDF files provided in this ebook were created with Lilliput version 2.10. Please note that Lilliput's MIDI output does not reproduce some dynamics and articulations. Moreover, the PDF output uses modern notation style, except for old-style quarter rests. Where appropriate, the Lilliput source files contain transcriber's notes regarding corrections to the music. For each song, the lyrics in the music image have been reproduced in the text. Click on the Listen link to hear a song in MIDI format, the PDF link to view a music transcription in PDF format, and the Lilliput link to view the Lilliput source code in plain text format. Song Index. The Liberty Minstrel. When the striving of surges is mad on the main, like the charge of a column of plumes on the plain, when the thunder is up from his cloud-cradled sleep and the tempest is treading the paths of the deep, there is beauty. But where is the beauty to see, like the sun-brilliant brow of a nation when free? By Geo. W. Clark. New York, Lovett and Alden, 7 Cornhill, Boston, Saxton and Miles, 205 Broadway, NY, Myron Finch, 120 Nassau Street, NY, Jackson and Chaplin, 38 Dean Street, Albany, New York, Jackson and Chaplin, Corner Genesee and Main St, Utica, NY 1844. Entered according to Act of Congress, in the year 1844, by George W. Clark, in the Clerk's Office of the District Court of the Southern District of New York. S. W. Benedict & Co. Music Stereotypers and Printers, 16 Spruce St. NY. Preface. All creation is musical, all nature speaks the language of song. There's music in the sighing of a reed, there's music in the gushing of a rill, there's music in all things. If man had ears, the earth is but an echo of the spheres. And who is not moved by music? Whoever despises music, says Martin Luther, I am displeased with him. There is a charm, a power that sways the breast, bids every passion revel, or be still, inspires with rage, or all our cares dissolves, can soothe destruction, and almost soothes despair. That music is capable of accomplishing vast good, and that it is a source of the most elevated and refined enjoyment when rightly cultivated and practiced, no one who understands its power or has observed its effects, will for a moment deny. Thou, O music, canst assuage the pain and heal the wound that hath defied the skill of sager comforters, thou dost restrain each wild emotion, thou dost the rage of fiercest passions chill, or lightest up the flames of holy fire, as through the soul thy strains harmonious thrill. Who does not desire to see the day when music in this country, cultivated and practiced by all music of a chaste, refined and elevated style, shall go forth with its angel voice, like a spirit of love upon the wind, exerting upon all classes of society a rich and healthful moral influence. when its wonderful power shall be made to subserve every righteous cause, to aid every humane effort for the promotion of man's social, civil, and religious well-being. It has been observed by travelers, that after a short residence in almost any of the cities of the Eastern world, one would fancy every second person a musician. During the night, the streets of these cities, particularly Rome, the capital of Italy, are filled with all sorts of minstrelsy, and the ear is agreeably greeted with a perpetual confluence of sweet sounds. A Scotch traveller, in passing through one of the most delightful villas of Rome, overheard a stonemason chanting something in a strain of peculiar melancholy, and on inquiry, ascertained it to be the lament of Tasso. He soon learned that this celebrated piece was familiar to all the common people. Torquato Tasso was an Italian poet of great merit, who was for many years deprived of liberty, and subjected to severe trials and misfortunes by the jealousy and cruelty of his patron, the Duke of Ferrara. That masterpiece of music, so justly admired and so much sung by the high and low throughout all Italy, had its origin in the wrongs of Tasso. An ardent love of humanity, a deep consciousness of the injustice of slavery, a heart full of sympathy for the oppressed, and a due appreciation of the blessings of freedom, has given birth to the poetry comprising this volume. I have long desired to see these sentiments of love, of sympathy, of justice, and humanity, so beautifully expressed in poetic measure, embalmed in sweet music, so that all the people, the rich, the poor, the young, and the old, who have hearts to feel, and tongues to move, may sing of the wrongs of slavery, and the blessings of liberty, until every human being shall recognize in his fellow an equal, a man and a brother. Until by familiarity with these sentiments, and their influence upon their hearts, the people, whose duty it is, shall undo the heavy burdens and let the oppressed go free. I announced, some time since, my intention of publishing such a work. Many have been impatiently waiting its appearance. I should have been glad to have issued it and scattered it like leaves of the forest over the land, long ago, but circumstances which I could not control, have prevented. I purpose to enlarge the work from time to time, as circumstances may require. Let associations of singers, having the love of liberty in their hearts, be immediately formed in every community. Let them study thoroughly, and make themselves perfectly familiar with both the poetry and the music, and enter into the sentiment of the piece they perform, that they may impress it upon their hearers. Above all things, let the enunciation of every word be clear and distinct. Most of the singing of the present day, is entirely too artificial, stiff, and mechanical. It should be easy and natural, flowing directly from the soul of the performer, without affectation or display, and then singing will answer its true end, and not only please the ear, but affect and improve the heart. To the true friends of universal freedom, the Liberty Minstrel is respectfully dedicated. G. W. Clark. New York, October 1844. The Liberty Minstrel. Gone, sold, and gone. Words by Whittier. Music by G. W. Clark. Listen PDF Lilliput gone, gone sold and gone, to the rice swamp dank and lone, where the slave whip ceaseless swings, where the noisome insect stings, where the fever demon strews poison with the falling dews, where the sickly sunbeams glare through the hot and misty air, gone, gone sold and gone, to the rice swamp dank and lone, from Virginia's hills and waters, woe is me my stolen daughters. Gone, gone sold and gone, to the rice swamp dank and lone, there no mother's eye is near them, there no mother's ear can hear them, never when the torturing lash seams their back with many a gash, shall a mother's kindness bless them, or a mother's arms caress them. Gone, gone sold and gone, to the rice swamp dank and lone, from Virginia's hills and waters, woe is me my stolen daughters. Gone, gone sold and gone, to the rice swamp dank and lone, oh, when weary, sad, and slow, from the fields at night they go, faint with toil, and racked with pain, to their cheerless homes again there no brother's voice shall greet them there no father's welcome meet them gone, and see gone, gone sold and gone, to the rice swamp dank and lone, from the tree whose shadow lay on their childhood's place of play from the cool spring where they drank rock and hill and rivulet bank from the solemn house of prayer, and the holy councils there gone, and see gone, gone sold and gone, to the rice swamp dank and lone, toiling through the weary day, and at night the spoilers pray, oh, that they had earlier died, sleeping calmly, side by side, where the tyrant's power is o'er, and the fetter galls no more, gone, and see gone, gone sold and gone, to the rice swamp dank and lone, by the holy love he beareth by the bruised reed he spareth oh, may he, to whom alone all their cruel wrongs are known, still their hope and refuge prove, with a more than mother's love gone, and see what means that sad and dismal look. Words by Geo Russell. Arranged from Near the Lake, by GWC. Listen PDF Lilliput. What means that sad and dismal look, and why those falling tears? No voice is heard, no word is spoke, yet naught but grief appears. Ah! Mother, hast thou ever known the pain of parting ties? Was ever infant from thee torn and sold before thine eyes? Say, would not grief thy bosom swell? Thy tears like rivers flow? Should some rude ruffian seize and sell the child thou lovest so? There's feeling in a mother's breast, though colored be her skin. And though at slavery's foul behest, she must not weep for kin. I had a lovely, smiling child, it sat upon my knee, and oft a tedious hour beguiled, with merry heart of glee. That child was from my bosom torn, and sold before my eyes, with outstretched arms, and looks forlorn, it uttered piteous cries. Mother! Dear mother, take, oh take thy helpless little one. Ah! Then I thought my heart would break, my child was gone. Long, long ago, my child they stole, but yet my grief remains, these tears flow freely and my soul in bitterness complains. Then ask not why my dismal look, nor why my falling tears, such wrongs, what human heart can brook? No hope for me appears. The Slave Boy's Wish. By Eliza Lee Fallon. I wish I was that little bird, up in the bright blue sky, that sings and flies just where he will, and no one asks him why. I wish I was that little brook, that runs so swift along, through pretty flowers and shining stones, singing a merry song. I wish I was that butterfly, without a thought or care, sporting my pretty, brilliant wings, like a flower in the air. I wish I was that wild, wild deer, I saw the other day, who swifter than an arrow flew, through the forest far away. I wish I was that little cloud, by the gentle south wind driven, floating along, so free and bright, far, far up into heaven. I'd rather be a cunning fox, and hide me in a cave, I'd rather be a savage wolf, than what I am a slave. My mother calls me her good boy, my father calls me brave, what wicked action have I done, that I should be a slave? I saw my little sister sold, so will they do to me, my heavenly Father, let me die, for then I shall be free. The Bereaved Father. Words by Miss Chandler. Music by GWC. Listen PDF Lilliput Yevi gone from me, my gentle ones. With all your shouts of mirth, a silence is within my walls, a darkness round my hearth, a darkness round my hearth. Woe to the hearts that heard, unmoved, the mother's anguished shriek, and mocked, with taunting scorn, the tears that bathed a father's cheek. Woe to the hands that tore you hence, my innocent and good. Not e'en the tigress of the wild, thus tears her fellow's brood. I list to hear your soft sweet tones, upon the morning air, I gaze amidst the twilight's gloom, as if to find you there. But you no more come bounding forth to meet me in your glee, and when the evening shadows fall, ye are not at my knee. Your forms are aye before my eyes, your voices on my ear, and all things wear a thought of you, but you no more are here. You were the glory of my life, my blessing, and my pride. I have forgot the name of slave, when you were by my side. Woe for your lot, ye doomed ones. Woe a seal is on your fate. And shame, and toil, and wretchedness, on all your steps await. Slave girl mourning her father. Parroted from Mrs. Sigourney by G.W.C. Listen PDF Lilliput. They say I was but 4 years old when father was sold away, yet I have never seen his face since that sad parting day. He went where brighter flowrets grow beneath the southern skies. Oh, who will show me on the map where that far country lies? I begged him, Father, do not go. For, since my mother died, I love no one so well as you, and, clinging to his side, the tears came gushing down my cheeks until my eyes were dim. Some were in sorrow for the dead, and some in love for him. He knelt and prayed of God above, my little daughter spare, and let us both here meet again, oh keep her in thy care. He does not come, I watch for him at evening twilight grey, till every shadow wears his shape, along the grassy way. I muse and listen all alone, when stormy winds are high, and think I hear his tender tone, and call, but no reply, and so I've done these 4 long years, without a friend or home, yet every dream of hope is vain. Why don't my father come? Father, dear father, are you sick, upon a stranger shore? The people say it must be so. Oh, send to me once more, and let your little daughter come, to soothe your restless bed, and hold the cordial to your lips, and press your aching head. Alas, I fear me he is dead, who will my trouble share? Or tell me where his form is laid, and let me travel there? By mother's tomb I love to sit, where the green branches wave. Good people, help a friendless child to find her father's grave. The Slave and Her Babe. Words by Charlotte Elizabeth. Can a woman forget her sucking child? Slave girl mourning her father. Oh, massa, let me stay, to catch my baby's sobbing breath, his little glassy eye to watch, and smooth his limbs in death, and cover him with grass and leaf, beneath the plantain tree. It is not sullenness, but grief. Oh, massa, pity me. God gave me babe a precious boon, to cheer my lonely heart, but massa called to work too soon, and I must needs depart. The morn was chill, I spoke no word, but feared my babe might die, and heard all day, or thought I heard, my little baby cry. At noon, oh, how I ran, and took my baby to my breast. I lingered, and the long lash broke my sleeping infant's rest. I worked till night, till darkest night, in torture and disgrace, went home, and watched till morning light, to see my baby's face. The fullness from its cheek was gone, the sparkle from its eye, now hot, like fire, now cold, like stone. I knew my babe must die. I worked upon plantation ground, though faint with woe and dread, then ran, or flew, and here I found massa, almost dead. Then give me but 1 little hour, oh, do not lash me so. 1 little hour, and gratefully I'll go. Ah me! The whip has cut my boy, I heard his feeble scream. No more farewell, my only joy, my life's first gladsome dream. I lay thee on the lonely sod, the heaven is bright above. These Christians boast they have a God, and say his name is love. O gentle, loving God, look down. My dying baby, see, the mercy that from earth is flown, perhaps may dwell with thee. The Negro's Appeal. Words by Cooper. Tune, Isle of Beauty. Listen PDF Lilliput forced from home and all its pleasures, Afric's coast I left forlorn, to increase a stranger's treasures, o'er the raging billows borne. Christian people bought and sold me, paid my price in paltry gold, but though slave they have enrolled me, mines are never to be sold. Is there, as yes sometimes tell me, is there one who reigns on high? Has he bid you buy and sell me, speaking from his throne the sky? Ask him, if your knotted scourges, matches, blood-extorting screws, are the means that duty urges agents of his will to use. Hark! He answers, wild tornadoes, strewing yonder sea with wrecks, wasting towns, plantations, meadows, are the voice with which he speaks. He, foreseeing what vexations Afric's sons should undergo, fixed their tyrants' habitations, where his whirlwinds answer no. By our blood in Afric wasted, ere our necks received the chain, by the miseries that we tasted, crossing in your barks the main, by our sufferings, since ye brought us to the man-degrading mart, all sustained by patience, taught us only by a broken heart, deem our nation brutes no longer, till some reason ye shall find, worthier of regard and stronger than the color of our kind. Slaves of gold, whose sordid dealings tarnish all your boasted powers, prove that you have human feelings, ere you proudly question ours. Negro boy sold for a watch, 1 words by Cooper. Arranged by GWC from an old theme. Listen PDF Lilliput. When avarice enslaves the mind, and selfish views alone bear sway, man turns a savage to his kind, and blood and rapine mark his way. Alas! For this poor simple toy, I sold the hapless Negro boy. His father's hope, his mother's pride, though black, yet comely to the view, I tore him helpless from their side, and gave him to a ruffian crew, to fiends that Afric's coast annoy. I sold the hapless Negro boy. From country, friends, and parents torn, his tender limbs in chains confined, I saw him o'er the billows borne, and marked his agony of mind, but still to gain this simple toy, I gave the weeping Negro boy. In isles that deck the western wave I doomed the hapless youth to dwell, a poor, forlorn, insulted slave. A beast that Christians buy and sell, and in their cruel tasks employ the much enduring Negro boy. His wretched parents long shall mourn, shall long explore the distant main in hope to see the youth return, but all their hopes and sighs are vain, they never shall the sight enjoy, of their lamented Negro boy. Beneath a tyrant's harsh command, he wears away his youthful prime, far distant from his native land, a stranger in a foreign clime. No pleasing thoughts his mind employ, a poor, dejected Negro boy. But he who walks upon the wind, whose voice in thunders heard on high, who doth the raging tempest bind, and hurl the lightning through the sky, in his own time will sure destroy the oppressor of the Negro boy. I am monarch of naught I survey. A parody. Air old Dr. Fleury. Listen PDF Lilliput. I am monarch of naught I survey, my wrongs there are none to dispute, my master conveys me away, his whims or caprices to suit. O slavery, where are the charms that patriarchs have seen in thy face? I dwell in the midst of alarms, and serve in a horrible place. I am out of humanity's reach, and must finish my life with a groan, never hear the sweet music of speech that tells me my body's my own. Society, friendship, and love, divinely bestowed upon some, are blessings I never can prove, if slavery's my portion to come. Religion. What treasures untold, reside in that heavenly word? More precious than silver or gold, or all that this earth can afford. But I am excluded the light that leads to this heavenly grace, the Bible is close to my sight, its beauties I never can trace. Ye wines, that have made me your sport, convey to this sorrowful land, some cordial endearing report, of freedom from tyranny's hand. My friends, do they not often send, a wish or a thought after me? Oh, tell me I yet have a friend I am anxious to see. How fleet is a glance of the mind! Compared with the speed of its flight, the tempest itself lags behind, and the swift-winged arrows of light. When I think of Victoria's domain, in a moment I seem to be there, but the fear of being taken again, soon hurries me back to despair. The woodfowl has gone to her nest, the beast has lain down in his lair, to me, there's no season of rest, though I to my quarter repair. If mercy, O Lord, is in store, for those who in slavery pine, grant me when life's troubles are o'er, a place in thy kingdom divine. The Afric's Dream. Words by Miss Chandler. Emigrant's Lament, arranged by GWC. Listen PDF. Lilliput, why did ye wake me from my sleep? It was a dream of bliss, and ye have torn me from that land, to pine again in this, methought, beneath yon whispering tree, that I was laid to rest, the turf, with all its withering flowers, upon my cold heart pressed. My chains, these hateful chains, were gone. Oh, would that I might die, so from my swelling pulse I could forever cast them by. And on, away, o'er land and sea, my joyful spirit passed, till, 'neath my own banana tree, I lighted down at last. My cabin door, with all its flowers, was still profusely gay, as when I lightly sported there, in childhood's careless day. But trees that were as sapling twigs, with broad and shadowing bough, around the well-known threshold spread a freshening coolness now. The birds whose notes I used to hear, were shouting on the earth, as if to greet me back again with their wild strains of mirth. My own bright stream was at my feet, and how I laughed to lave my burning lip, and cheek, and brow, in that delicious wave. My boy, my firstborn babe, had died amid his early hours, and there we laid him to his sleep among the clustering flowers, yet lo! Without my cottage door he sported in his glee, with her whose grave is far from his, beneath yon linden tree. I sprang to snatch them to my soul, when breathing out my name, to grasp my hand, and press my lip, a crowd of loved ones came. Wife, parents, children, kinsmen, friends. The dear and lost ones all, with blessed words of welcome came, to greet me from my thrall. Forms long unseen were by my side, and thrilling on my ear, came cadences from gentle tones, unheard for many a year, and on my cheeks fond lips were pressed, with true affection's kiss, and so ye waked me from my sleep, but 'twas a dream of bliss. Song of the Coffle Gang. 2 words by the Slaves. Music by GWC. Listen PDF. Lilliput, see these poor souls from Africa, transported to America, we are stolen, and sold to Georgia, will you go along with me? We are stolen and sold to Georgia, go sound the jubilee. See wives and husbands sold apart, the children's screams, it breaks my heart, there's a better day a-coming, will you go along with me? There's a better day a-coming, go sound the jubilee. O gracious Lord! When shall it be, that we poor souls shall all be free? Lord, break them slavery powers, will you go along with me? Lord, break them slavery powers, go sound the jubilee. Dear Lord! Dear Lord! When slavery'll cease, then we poor souls can have our peace, there's a better day a-coming, will you go along with me? There's a better day a-coming, go sound the jubilee. Hark! I hear a sound of anguish. Air, Calvary. Listen PDF. Lilliput, hark! I hear a sound of anguish in my own, my native land, brethren, doomed in chains to languish, lift to heaven the suppliant hand, and despairing, death the end of woe demand. Let us raise our supplication for the wretched suffering slave, all whose life is desolation, all whose hope is in the grave, God of mercy. From thy throne, O hear and save. Those in bonds we would remember as if we with them were bound, for each crushed, each suffering member let our sympathies abound, till our labors spread the smiles of freedom round. Even now the word is spoken, slavery's cruel power must cease, from the bound the chain be broken, captives hail the kind release, while in splendor comes to reign the Prince of Peace. Brothers, be brave for the pining slave. Air sparkling and bright. Listen PDF Lilliput solo. Heavy and cold in his dungeon hold, is the yoke of the oppressor, dark o'er the soul is the fell control of the stern and dread transgressor. Chorus. Oh, then come all to bring the thrall up from his deep despairing, and out of the jaw of the bandit's law, retake the prey he's tearing. Oh, then come all to bring the thrall up from his deep despairing, and out of the jaw of the bandit's law, retake the prey he's tearing. Brothers, be brave for the pining slave, from his wife and children riven, from every vale their bitter wail goes sounding up to heaven. Then for the life of that poor wife, and for those children pining, oh, ne'er give o'er till the chains no more around their limbs are twining. Gloomy and damp is the low rice swamp, where their meager bands are wasting, all worn and weak, in vain they seek for rest, to the cool shade hasting, for drivers fell, like fiends from hell, cease not their savage shouting, and the scourge's crack, from quivering back, sends up the red blood spouting. Into the grave looks only the slave, for rest to his limbs aweary, his spirit's light comes from that night, to us so dark and dreary. That soul shall nurse its heavy curse against a day of terror, when the lightning gleam of his wrath shall stream like fire, on the hosts of error. Heavy and stern are the bolts which burn in the right hand of Jehovah, to smite the strong red arm of wrong, and dash his temples over, then on amain to rend the chain, ere bursts the volleyed thunder, right onward speed till the slave is freed, his monocles torn asunder. EDH the Quadroon Maiden. Words by Longfellow. Theme from the Indian Maid. Listen PDF Lilliput the slaver in the broad lagoon, lay moored with idle sail, he waited for the rising moon, and for the evening gale. The planter under his roof of thatch, smoked thoughtfully and slow, the slaver's thumb was on the latch, he seemed in haste to go. He said, my ship at anchor rides in yonder broad lagoon, I only wait the evening tides, and the rising of the moon. Before them, with her face upraised, in timid attitude, like one half curious, half amazed, a quadroon maiden stood. And on her lips there played a smile as holy, meek, and faint, as lights, in some cathedral aisle, the features of a saint. The soil is barren, the farm is old, the thoughtful planter said, then looked upon the slaver's gold, and then upon the maid. His heart within him was at strife, with such accursed gains, for he knew whose passions gave her life, whose blood ran in her veins. But the voice of nature was too weak, he took the glittering gold. Then pale as death grew the maiden's cheek, her hands as icy cold. The slaver led her from the door, he led her by the hand, to be his slave and paramour in a far and distant land. Domestic Bliss. By Rev. James Gregg. Domestic bliss, thou fairest flower that erst in Eden grew, dear relic of the happy bower, our first grandparents knew. We hail thee in the rugged soil of this waste wilderness, to cheer our way and cheat our toil, with gleams of happiness. In thy mild light we travel on, and smile at toil and pain, and think no more of Eden gone, for Eden won again. Such, Emily, the bliss, the joy by heaven bestowed on you, a husband kind, a lovely boy, a father fond and true. Religion adds her cheering beams, and sanctifies these ties, and sheds o'er all the brighter gleams, she borrows from the skies. But reflect, are all thus blessed? Hath home such charms for all? Can such delights as these invest foul slavery's wretched thrall? Can those be happy in these ties who wear her galling chain? Or taste the blessed charities that in the household reign? Can those be blessed, whose hope, whose life, hang on a tyrant's nod, to whom nor husband, child, nor wife are known, yea, scarcely God? Whose ties may all be rudely riven, at avarice fell behest, whose only hope of home is heaven, the grave their only rest? Oh! Think of those, the poor, oppressed, in your full hour of bliss, nor ye are from prayer and effort rest, while earth bears woe like this. Oh, pity the slave mother. Words from the Liberator. Araby's daughter. Listen, PDF Lilliput, I pity the slave mother, careworn and weary, who sighs as she presses her babe to her breast. I lament her sad fate, all so hopeless and dreary. I lament for her woes, and her wrongs unredressed. Oh, who can imagine her heart's deep emotion, as she thinks of her children about to be sold? You may picture the bounds of the rock-girdled ocean, but the grief of that mother can never be known. The mildew of slavery has blighted each blossom, that ever has bloomed in her pathway below. It has froze every fountain that gushed in her bosom, and chilled her heart's verdure with pitiless woe. Her parents, her kindred, all crushed by oppression, her husband still doomed in its desert to stay, no arm to protect from the tyrant's aggression. She must weep as she treads on her desolate way. Oh, slave mother, hope! See, the nation is shaking. The arm of the Lord is awake to thy wrong. The slaveholder's heart now with terror is quaking. Salvation and mercy to heaven belong. Rejoice, oh rejoice! For the child thou art rearing, may one day lift up its unmanacled form, while hope, to thy heart, like the rainbow so cheering, is born, like the rainbow, mid tempest and storm. How long? Oh! How long? How long will the friend of the slave plead in vain? How long the Christian will loosen the chain? If he, by our efforts, more hardened should be, O Father, forgive him. We trust but in Thee. That we're all free and equal, how senseless the cry, while millions in bondage are groaning so nigh. Oh, where is our freedom? Equality where? To this none can answer, but echo cries, where? O'er this stain on our country we'd fain draw a veil, but history's page will proclaim the sad tale, that Christians, unblushing, could shout we are free, whilst they the oppressors of millions could be. They can feel for themselves, for the Pole they can feel, towards Afric's children their hearts are like steel, they are deaf to their call, to their wrongs they are blind, in error they slumber nor seek truth to find. Though scorn and oppression on our pathway attend, despised and reviled, we the slave will befriend, our Father, thy blessing. We look but to thee, nor cease from our labors till all shall be free. Should mobs in their fury with missiles assail, the cause it is righteous, the truth will prevail, then heed not their clamors, though loud they proclaim that freedom shall slumber, and slavery reign. The Fugitive Slave to the Christian. Words by Eliezer Wright, Junior. Music arranged from Krakowian. Listen, PDF Lilliput, the fetters galled my weary soul, a soul that seemed but thrown away. I spurned the tyrant's base control, resolved at last the man to play chorus. The hounds are baying on my track, O Christian! Will you send me back? The hounds are baying on my track, O Christian! Will you send me back? I felt the stripes, the lash I saw, red, dripping with the Father's gore, and, worst of all their lawless law, the insults that my mother bore. The hounds are baying on my track, O Christian! Will you send me back? Where human law o'errules divine, beneath the sheriff's hammer fell my wife and babes, I call them mine, and where they suffer, who can tell? The hounds are baying on my track, O Christian! Will you send me back? I seek a home where man is man, if such there be upon this earth, to draw my kindred, if I can, around its free, though humble hearth. The hounds are baying on my track, O Christian. Will you send me back? The strength of tyranny. The tyrant's chains are only strong while slaves submit to wear them, and, who could bind them on the strong, determined not to wear them? Then clank your chains, e'en though the links were light as fashion's feather, the heart which rightly feels and thinks would cast them all together. The lords of earth are only great while others clothe and feed them. But what were all their pride and state should labor cease to heed them? The swain is higher than a king, before the laws of nature, the monarch were a useless thing, the swain a useless creature. We toil, we spin, we delve the mine, sustaining each his neighbor, and who can hold a right divine to rob us of our labor? We rush to battle, bear our lot in every ill and danger, and who shall make the peaceful cot to homely joy a stranger? Perish all tyrants far and near, beneath the chains that bind us, and perish too that servile fear which makes the slaves they find us, one grand, one universal claim, one peal of moral thunder, one glorious burst in freedom's name, and rend our bonds asunder. The Blind Slave Boy. Words by Mrs. Dr. Bailey. Music arranged from Sweet Afton. Listen PDF Lilliput, come back to me, mother. Why linger away from thy poor little blind boy, the long weary day? I mark every footstep, I list to each tone, and wonder my mother should leave me alone. There are voices of sorrow, and voices of glee, but there's no one to joy or to sorrow with me, for each hath of pleasure and trouble his share, and none for the poor little blind boy will care. My mother, come back to me. Close to thy breast once more let thy poor little blind one be pressed, once more let me feel thy warm breath on my cheek, and hear thee in accents of tenderness speak. O mother! I've no one to love me, no heart can bear like thine own in my sorrows apart, no hand is so gentle, no voice is so kind, oh! None like a mother can cherish the blind. Poor blind one! No mother thy wailing can hear, no mother can hasten to banish thy fear, for the slave owner drives her, o'er mountain and wild, and for one paltry dollar hath sold thee, poor child. Ah! Who can in language of mortals reveal the anguish that none but a mother can feel, when man in his vile lust of mammon hath trod on her child, who is stricken and smitten of God? Blind, helpless, forsaken, with strangers alone, she hears in her anguish his piteous moan, as he eagerly listens but listens in vain, to catch the loved tones of his mother again. The curse of the broken in spirit shall fall on the wretch who hath mingled this wormwood and gall, and his gain like a mildew shall blight and destroy, who hath torn from his mother the little blind boy. Slaves' Wrongs. Words by Miss Chandler. Arranged from Rose of Allendale. Listen PDF Lilliput, with aching brow and wearied limb, the slave his toil pursued, and oft I saw the cruel scourge deep in his blood imbrued, he tilled oppression's soil where men for liberty had bled, and the eagle wing of freedom waved in mockery, o'er his head. The earth was filled with the triumph shout of men who had burst their chains, but his, the heaviest of them all, still lay on his burning veins. In his master's hall there was luxury and wealth and mental light, but the very book of the Christian law was hidden from his sight. In his master's halls there was wine and mirth, and songs for the newly free, but his own low cabin was desolate of all but misery. He felt it all, and to bitterness his heart within him turned, while the panting wish for liberty, like a fire in his bosom burned. The haunting thought of his wrongs grew changed to a darker and fiercer hue, till the horrible shape it sometimes wore at last familiar grew. There was darkness all within his heart, and madness in his soul, and the demon spark, in his bosom nursed, blazed up beyond control. Then came a scene. Oh! Such a scene! I would I might forget the ringing sound of the midnight scream, and the hearthstone redly wet. The mother slain while she shrieked in vain for her infant's threatened life, and the flying form of the fright child, struck down by the bloody knife. There's many a heart that yet will start from its troubled sleep, at night, as the horrid form of the vengeful slave comes in dreams before the sight. The slave was crushed, and his fetters link drawn tighter than before, and the bloody earth again was drenched with the streams of his flowing gore. Ah! Know they not, that the tightest band must burst with the wildest power, that the more the slave is oppressed and wronged, will be fiercer his rising hour? They may thrust him back with the arm of might, they may drench the earth with his blood, but the best and purest of their own, will blend with the sanguine flood. I could tell thee more, but my strength is gone, and my breath is wasting fast. Long ere the darkness tonight has fled, will my life from the earth have passed, but this, the sum of all I have learned, ere I go I will tell to thee. If tyrants would hope for tranquil hearts, they must let the oppressed go free. My child is gone. Music by GWC. Listen PDF Lilliput hark. From the winds a voice of woe, the wild Atlantic in its flow, bears on its breast the murmur low, my child is gone. Like savage tigers o'er their prey, they tore him from my heart away, and now I cry, by night by day my child is gone. How many a freeborn babe is pressed with fondness to its mother's breast, and rocked upon her arms to rest, while mine is gone. No longer now, at eve I see, beneath the sheltering plantain tree, my baby cradled on my knee, for he is gone. And when I seek my cot at night, there's not a thing that meets my sight, but tells me that my soul's delight, my child, is gone. I sink to sleep, and then I seem to hear again his parting scream. I start and wake, 'tis but a dream, my child is gone. Gone till my toils and griefs are o'er, and I shall reach that happy shore, where negro mothers cry no more, my child is gone. Comfort in Affliction. Words by William Leggett. Music by GWC. Listen PDF Lilliput. If yon bright stars which gem the night, be each a blissful dwelling sphere, where kindred spirits reunite whom death has torn asunder here, how sweet it were at once to die, and leave this blighted orb afar. Mix soul with soul to cleave the sky, and soar away from star to star. But oh! how dark, how drear, how lone, would seem the brightest world of bliss, if, wandering through each radiant one, we failed to find the loved of this. If there no more the ties should twine, which death's cold hand alone can sever, ah! then those stars in mockery shine, more hateful as they shine forever. It cannot be each hope and fear, that lights the eye or clouds the brow, proclaims there is a happier sphere than this bleak world that holds us now. There is a voice which sorrow hears, when heaviest weighs life's galling chain, 'tis heaven that whispers, dry thy tears, the pure in heart shall meet again. The Poor Little Slave. From the Charter Oak. Oh, pity the poor little slave, who labors hard through all the day and has no one, when day is done, to teach his youthful heart to pray. No words of love, no fond embrace, no smiles from parents kind and dear, no tears are shed around his bed, when fevers rage, and death is near. None feel for him when heavy chains are fastened to his tender limb, no pitying eyes, no sympathies, no prayers are raised to heaven for him. Yes, I will pity the poor slave, and pray that he may soon be free, that he at last, when days are past, in heaven may have his liberty. The Bereaved Mother. Words by Jesse Hutchinson. Air, Kathleen O'Moore. Listen PDF Lilliput. Oh, deep was the anguish of the slave mother's heart, when called from her darling forever to part, so grieved that lone mother, that heart-broken mother, in sorrow and woe. The lash of the master her deep sorrows mock, while the child of her bosom is sold on the block, yet loud shrieked that mother, poor heart-broken mother, in sorrow and woe. The babe in return, for its fond mother cries, while the sound of their wailings together arise, they shriek for each other, the child and the mother, in sorrow and woe. The harsh auctioneer to sympathy cold, tears the babe from its mother and sells it for gold, while the infant and mother, loud shriek for each other, in sorrow and woe. At last came the parting of mother and child, her brain reeled with madness, that mother was wild, then the lash could not smother the shrieks of that mother, of sorrow and woe. The child was borne off to a far distant clime, while the mother was left in anguish to pine, but reason departed, and she sank broken-hearted, in sorrow and woe. That poor mourning mother, of reason bereft, soon ended her sorrows and sank cold in death, thus died that slave mother, poor heart-broken mother, in sorrow and woe. Oh! List ye kind mothers to the cries of the slave, the parents and children implore you to save, go. Rescue the mothers, the sisters, and brothers, from sorrow and woe. Heard ye that cry? From wind of the winter night. Listen PDF Lilliput, heard ye that cry? 'Twas the wail of a slave, as he sank in despair, to the rest of the grave. Behold him where bleeding and prostrate he lies, unfriended he lived, and unpitied he died. The white man oppressed him, the white man for gold, made him toil amidst tortures that cannot be told, he robbed him, and spoiled him, of all that was dear, and made him the prey of affliction and fear. But his anguish was seen, and his wailings were heard, by the Lord God of hosts, whose vengeance deferred, gathers force by delay, and with fury will burst, on his impious oppressor the tyrant accursed. Arouse ye, arouse ye. Ye generous and brave, plead the rights of the poor, plead the cause of the slave, nor cease your exertions till broken shall be the fetters that bind him, and the slave shall be free. Sleep on, my child. By RJH. Sleep on, my child, in peaceful rest, while lovely visions round thee play, no care or grief has touched thy breast, thy life is yet a cloudless day. Far distant is my childhood's home, no mother's smiles, no father's care. Oh! How I'd love again to roam, where once my little playmates were. Sleep on, thou hast not felt the chain, but though 'tis yet unmingled joy, I may not see those smiles again, nor clasp thee to my breast, my boy. And must I see thee toil and bleed? Thy manly soul in fetters tied, 'twill wring thy mother's heart indeed. Oh! Would to God that I had died. That soul God's own bright image bears, but oh! No tongue thy woes can tell, thy lot is cast in blood and tears, and soon these lips must say farewell. Zaza the Female Slave. Words by Miss Ball. Music by GWC. Listen PDF Lilliput. Oh my country, my country. How long I for thee, far over the mountain, far over the sea. Where the sweet Jalaba kisses the shore, say, shall I wander by thee nevermore? Where the sweet Jalaba kisses the shore, say, shall I wander by thee nevermore? O my country, my country. How long I for thee, far over the mountain, far over the sea. Say, O Fonzirama, where dost thou stay? Say, doth another list to thy sweet lay? Say, doth the orange still bloom near our cot? Zirama, Zirama, am I forgot? Oh, my country, my country. How long I for thee, far over the mountain, far over the sea. Under the baobab oft have I slept, fanned by sweet breezes that over me swept. Often in dreams do my weary limbs lay neath the same baobab, far, far away. O my country, how long I for thee, far over the mountain, far over the sea. Oh for the breath of our own waving palm, here, as I languish, my spirit to calm. Oh for a draught from our own cooling lake, brought by sweet mother, my spirit to wake. O my country, how long I for thee, far over the mountain, far over the sea. Prayer for the slave. Tune Hamug. Listen PDF Lilliput, O let the Preena's mournful sighs as incense in thy sight appear. Their humble wailings pierce the skies, if haply they may feel thee near. The captive exiles make their moans, from sin impatient to be free, call home, thy banished ones. Lead captive their captivity. Out of the deep regard their cries, the fallen raise, the mourners cheer, O, Son of Righteousness, arise, and scatter all their doubts and fear. Stand by them in the fiery hour, their feebleness of mind defend, and in their weakness show thy power, and make them patient to the end. Relieve the souls whose cross we bear, for whom thy suffering members mourn, answer our faith's effectual prayer, and break the yoke so meekly borne. Remembering that God is just. O righteous God, whose awful frown can crumble nations to the dust, trembling we stand before thy throne, when we reflect that thou art just. Dost thou not see the dreadful wrong, which Afric's injured race sustains? And wilt thou not arise ere long, to plead their cause, and break their chains? Must not thine anger quickly rise against the men whom lust controls, who dare thy righteous laws despise and traffic in the blood of souls? The Fugitive. Words by LMC Air Bonnie Doon. Listen PDF Lilliput, a noble man of sable brow came to my humble cottage door, with cautious, weary step and slow, and asked if I could feed the poor. He begged if I had aught to give, to help the panting fugitive. I told him he had fled away from his kind master, friends, and home, that he was black a slave astray, and should return as he had come, that I would to his master give the straying villain fugitive. He fell upon his trembling knee and claimed he was a brother man, that I was bound to set him free, according to the gospel plan, and if I would God's grace receive, that I must help the fugitive. He showed the stripes his master gave, the festering wound the sightless eye, the common badges of the slave, and said he would be free, or die, and if I nothing had to give, I should not stop the fugitive. He owned his was a sable skin, that which his Maker first had given, but mine would be a darker sin, that would exclude my soul from heaven, and if I would God's grace receive, I should relieve the fugitive. I bowed and took the stranger in, and gave him meat, and drink, and rest. I hope that God forgave my sin, and made me with that brother blessed. I am resolved, long as I live, to help the panting fugitive. Am I not a man and brother? Words by ACL Air Bride's Farewell. Listen PDF Lilliput, am I not a man and brother? Ought I not, then, to be free? Sell me not one to another, take not thus my liberty. Christ our Saviour, died for me as well as thee. Am I not a man and brother? Have I not a soul to save? Oh, do not my spirit smother, making me a wretched slave. God of mercy, let me fill a freeman's grave. Yes, thou art a man and brother, though thou long hast groaned a slave, bound with cruel cords and tether from the cradle to the grave. Yet the Saviour, bled and died all souls to save. Yes, thou art a man and brother, though we long have told thee nay, and are bound to aid each other, all along our pilgrim way. Come and welcome, join with us to praise and pray. Am I not a sister? By ACL, am I not a sister, say. Shall I then be bought and sold in the mart and by the way, for the white man's lust and gold? Save me then from his foul snare, leave me not to perish there. Am I not a sister, say, though I have a sable hue? Lo! I have been dragged away, from my friends and kindred true, and have toiled in yonder field, there have long been bruised and peeled. Am I not a sister, say? Have I an immortal soul? Will you, sisters, Tell me nay. Shall I live in lust's control, to be chatteled like a beast, by the Christian church and priest? Am I not a sister, say, though I have been made a slave? Will you not then for me pray, to the God whose power can save, high and low, and bond and free? Toil and pray and vote for me. Ye heralds of freedom. Music by Kingsley. Listen PDF Lilliput. Ye heralds of freedom, ye noble and brave, who dare to insist on the rights of the slave, go onward, your cause is of God, and he will soon sever the oppressor's strong rod. The finger of slander may now at you point, that finger will soon lose the strength of its joint, and those who now plead for the rights of the slave, will soon be acknowledged the good and the brave. Though thrones and dominions, and kingdoms, and powers, may now all oppose you, the victory is yours, the banner of Jesus will soon be unfurled, and he will give freedom and peace to the world. Go under his standard and fight by his side, o'er mountains and billows you'll then safely ride. His gracious protection will be to you given, and bright crowns of glory he'll give you in heaven. I would not live alway. By Pierpont. I would not live alway, I ask not to stay, where I must bear the burden and heat of the day, where my body is cut with the lash or the cord, and a hovel and hunger are all my reward. I would not live alway, where life is a load to the flesh and the spirit, since there's an abode for the soul disenthralled. Let me breathe my last and repose in thine arms, my deliverer, death. I would not live alway to toil as a slave, oh no, let me rest, though I rest in my grave, for there, from their troubling, the wicked shall end, free from his master, the slave be at peace. Our Pilgrim Fathers. Words by Pierpont. Music from Minstrel Boy, by GWC. Listen PDF Lilliput. Our Pilgrim Fathers, where are they? The waves that brought them o'er, still roll in the bay, and throw their spray as they break along the shore, still roll in the bay, as they rolled that day, when the Mayflower moored below, when the sea around was black with storms, and white the shore with snow. The mists that wrapped the Pilgrim's sleep, still brood upon the tide, and his rocks yet keep their watch by the deep, to stay its waves of pride. But the snow-white sail, that she gave to the gale when the heavens looked dark, is gone, as an angel's wing, through an opening cloud, is seen, and then withdrawn. The Pilgrim exile sainted name. The hill, whose icy brow rejoiced when he came in the morning's flame, in the morning's flame burns now. And the moon's cold light, as it lay that night, on the hillside and the sea, still lies where he laid his houseless head, but the pilgrim, where is he? The Pilgrim Fathers are at rest, when summer's throned on high, and the world's warm breast is in verdure dressed. Go, stand on the hill where they lie. The earliest ray of the golden day, on that hallowed spot is cast, and the evening sun as he leaves the world, looks kindly on that spot last. The pilgrim spirit has not fled, it walks in noon's broad light, and it watches the bed of the glorious dead, with the holy stars, by night. It watches the bed of the brave who have bled, and shall guard this ice-bound shore, till the waves of the bay, where the Mayflower lay, shall foam and freeze no more. Stanzas for the Times. Words by J.G. Whittier. Music by GWC. Listen PDF Lilliput. Is this the land our fathers loved, the freedom which they toiled to win? Is this the soil whereon they moved? Are these the graves they slumber in? Are we the sons by whom are born, the mantles which the dead have won? And shall we crouch above these graves, with craven soul and fettered lip? Yoke in with marked and branded slaves, and tremble at the driver's whip? Bend to the earth our pliant knees, and speak but as our masters please? Shall outraged nature cease to feel? Shall mercy's tears no longer flow? Shall ruffian threats of cord and steel the dungeon's gloom th assassins blow, turn back the spirit roused to save the truth, our country and the slave. Of human skulls that shrine was made, round which the priests of Mexico before their loathsome idol prayed, is freedom's altar fashioned so? And must we yield to freedom's God as offering meet, the Negro's blood? Shall tongues be mute, when deeds are wrought which well might shame extremist hell? Shall freemen lock th indignant thought? Shall mercy's bosom cease to swell? Shall honor bleed? Shall truth succumb? Shall pen, and press, and soul be dumb? No, by each spot of haunted ground, where freedom weeps her children's fall, by Plymouth's rock and Bunker's mound, by Griswold's stained and shattered wall, by Warren's ghost, by Langdon's shade, by all the memories of our dead. By their enlarging souls, which burst the bands and fetters round them set, by the free pilgrim spirit nursed within our inmost bosoms, yet by all above, around, below, be ours the indignant answer, no. No, guided by our country's laws, for truth, and right, and suffering man, be ours to strive in freedom's cause, as Christians may, as freemen can. Still pouring on unwilling ears that truth oppression only fears. To those I love. Words by Miss E. M. Chandler. Music from an old air by GWC. Listen PDF. Lilliput. Oh, turn ye not displeased away, though I should sometimes seem too much to press upon your ear, an oft repeated theme. The story of the Negro's wrongs is heavy at my heart, and can I choose but wish from you a sympathizing part? I turn to you to share my joy, to soothe me in my grief, in wayward sadness from your smiles, I seek a sweet relief. And shall I keep this burning wish to see the slave set free, locked darkly in my secret heart, unshared and silently? If I had been a friendless thing, if I had never known how swell the fountains of the heart beneath affection's tone, I might have, careless, seen the leaf torn rudely from its stem, but clinging as I do to you, can I but feel for them? I could not brook to list the sad sweet music of a bird, though it were sweeter melody than ever ear hath heard, if cruel hands had quenched its light, that in the plaintive song, it might the breathing memory of other days prolong. And can I give my lip to taste the life-bought luxuries, wrung from those on whom a darker night of anguish has been flung, or silently and selfishly enjoy my better lot, while those whom God hath bade me love, are wretched and forgot? Oh no, so blame me not, sweet friends, though I should sometimes seem too much to press upon your ear an oft-repeated theme. The story of the Negro's wrongs hath won me from my rest, and I must strive to wake for him an interest in your breast. We're coming. We're coming. Air, Kinloch of Kinloch. Listen PDF. Lilliput. We're coming, the fearless and free, like the winds of the desert, the waves of the sea. True sons of brave sires who battled of yore, when England's proud lion ran wild on our shore. We're coming, from mountain and glen, with hearts to do battle for freedom again. Oppression is trembling as trembled before, the slavery which fled from our fathers of yore. We're coming, with banners unfurled, our motto is freedom, our country the world, our watchword is liberty. Tyrants beware. For the Liberty Army will bring you despair. We're coming, we'll come from afar, our standard we'll nail to humanity's car, with shoutings we'll raise it, in triumph to wave, a trophy of conquest, or shroud for the brave. Then arouse ye, brave hearts, to the rescue come on. The man-stealing army will surely put down, they are crushing their millions, but soon they must yield, for freemen have risen and taken the field. Then arouse ye. Arouse ye. The fearless and free, like the winds of the desert, the waves of the sea, let the north, west, and east, to the sea-beaten shore, resound with the liberty triumph once more. Rouse up, New England. Words by a Yankee. Music by GWC. Listen PDF. Lilliput. Rouse up, New England. Buckle on your mail of proof sublime, your stern old hate of tyranny, your deep contempt of crime, a traitor plot is hatching now, more full of woe and shame, than ever from the iron heart of bloodiest despot came. 6 slave states added at a breath. One flourish of a pen, and fetters shall be riveted on millions more of men. One drop of ink to sign a name, and slavery shall find for all her surplus flesh and blood, a market to her mind. A market where good democrats their fellow men may sell. Oh, what a grin of fiendish glee runs round and round through hell. How all the damned leap up for joy and half forget their fire, to think men take such pains to claim the notice of God's ire. Is 't not enough that we have borne the sneer of all the world, and bent to those whose haughty lips in scorn of us are curled? Is 't not enough that we must hunt their living chattels back, and cheer the hungry bloodhounds on, that howl upon their track? Is 't not enough that we must bow to all that they decree, these cotton and tobacco lords, these pimps of slavery? That we must yield our conscience up to glut oppression's maw, and break our faith with God to keep the letter of man's law? But must we sit in silence by, and see the chain and whip made firmer for all time to come in slavery's bloody grip? Must we not only half the guilt and all the shame endure, but help to make our tyrant's throne of flesh and blood secure? Is water running in our veins? Do we remember still old Plymouth Rock, and Lexington, and glorious Bunker Hill? The debt we owe our fathers' graves? And to the yet unborn, whose heritage ourselves must make a thing of pride or scorn. Grey Plymouth Rock hath yet a tongue, and Concord is not dumb, and voices from our fathers' graves, and from the future come, they call on us to stand our ground, they charge us still to be not only free from chains ourselves, but foremost to make free. Awake, New England! While you sleep the foes advance their lines, already on your strongholds' wall their bloody banner shines. Awake! And hurl them back again in terror and despair, the time has come for earnest deeds, we've not a man to spare. Rise, freemen, rise. Music by GWC. Listen PDF Lilliput. Rise, freemen, rise. The call goes forth, attend the high command, obedience to the word of God, throughout this guilty land, throughout this guilty land. Rise, free the slave, oh, burst his chains, and cast his fetters down, let virtue be your country's pride, her diadem and crown. Then shall the day at length arrive, when all shall equal be, and freedom's banner, waving high, proclaim that all are free. Remember me, O thou, from whom all goodness flows. I lift my heart to thee, in all my wrongs, oppressions, woes, dear Lord. Remember me. Afflictions sore obstruct my way, and ills I cannot flee, Lord. Let my strength be as my day, and still remember me. Oppressed with scourges, bonds, and grief, this feeble body see, oh. Give my burdened soul relief, hear, and remember me. A beacon has been lighted. Parody by GWC Air, Blue-Eyed Mary. Listen PDF Lilliput. A beacon has been lighted, bright as the noonday sun, on worlds of mind benighted, its rays are pouring down, full many a shrine of error, and many a deed of shame, dismayed, has shrunk in terror, before the lighted flame. Chorus. Victorious, on, victorious. Proud beacon onward haste, till floods of light all glorious, illume the moral waste. Oppression foul has foundered, the demon gasps for breath, his rapid march is downward, to everlasting death. Old age and youth united, his works shall prostrate hurl, and soon himself, affrighted, shall hurry from this world. Victorious, on, victorious, and see proud liberty untiring, strikes at the monster's heart, beneath her blows expiring, he dreads her well-aimed dart. Her blows will pray God speed them, oppression to despoil, and how we fought for freedom, let future ages tell. Victorious, on, victorious, and see our countrymen in chains. Words by Whittier. Beatitude, by T. Hastings. Listen PDF Lilliput, our fellow countrymen in chains, slaves in a land of light and law. Slaves crouching on the very plains where rolled the storm of freedom's war. A groan from Utah's haunted wood, a wail where Camden's martyrs fell by every shrine of patriot blood, from Moultrie's wall and Jasper's well. By storied hill and hallowed grot, by mossy wood and marshy glen, whence rang of old the rifle shot, and hurrying shout of Marion's men. The groan of breaking hearts is there, the falling lash, the fetters clank. Slaves are breathing in that air, which old DeKalb and Sumter drank. What, ho, our countrymen in chains! The whip on woman's shrinking flesh. Our soil yet reddening with the stains, caught from her scourging, warm and fresh. What? Mothers from their children riven. What? God's own image bought and sold. Americans to market driven, and bartered as the brute for gold. Speak. Shall their agony of prayer come thrilling to our hearts in vain? To us, whose fathers scorned to bear the paltry menace of a chain, to us, whose boast is loud and long of holy liberty and light, say, shall these writhing slaves of wrong, plead vainly for their plundered right? Shall every flap of England's flag proclaim that all around are free, from farthest Ind to each blue crag that beetles o'er the western sea? And shall we scoff at Europe's kings, when freedom's fire is dim with us, and round our country's altar clings the damning shade of slavery's curse? Just God. And shall we calmly rest, the Christians scorn the heathen's mirth, content to live the lingering jest and byword of a mocking earth? Shall our own glorious land retain that curse which Europe scorns to bear? Shall our own brethren drag the chain which not even Russia's menials wear? Down let the shrine of Moloch sink, and leave no traces where it stood, no longer let its idol drink his daily cup of human blood, but rear another altar there, to truth, and love, and mercy given, and freedom's gift, and freedom's prayer, shall call an answer down from heaven. Myron Holly. By W. H. Burleigh. Yes, fame is his, but not the fame for which the conqueror pants and strives, whose path is tracked through blood and flame, and over countless human lives. His name no armed battalions hail with bugle shriek or thundering gun, no widows curse him, as they wail for slaughtered husband and for son. Amid the moral strife alone, he battled fearlessly and long, and poured, with clear, untrembling tone, rebuke upon the hosts of wrong to break oppression's cruel rod. He dared the perils of the fight, and in the name of freedom's God struck boldly for the true and right. With faith, whose eye was never dim, the triumph, yet afar, he saw, when, bonds smote off from soul and limb, and freed alike by love and law, the slave no more a slave shall stand erect and loud, from sea to sea, exultant burst o'er all the land the glorious song of jubilee. Why should we mourn, thy labor done, that thou art called to thy reward? Rest, freedom's war-worn champion. Rest, faithful soldier of the Lord. For oh, not vainly hast thou striven, through storm, and gloom, and deepest night, not vainly hath thy life been given for God, for freedom, and for right. Voice of New England against slavery. Words by Whittier. Music by GWC. Listen PDF Lilliput. Up the hillside, down the glen, rouse the sleeping citizen, summon out the might of men. Like a lion growling low, like a night storm rising slow, like the tread of unseen foe. It is coming, it is nigh. Stand your homes and altars by, on your own free thresholds die. Clang the bells in all your spires, on the grey hills of your sires fling to heaven your signal fires. Whoso shrinks or falters now, whoso to the yoke would bow, brand the craven on his brow. Freedom's soil hath only place for a free and fearless race, none for traitors false and base. Take your land of sun and bloom, only leave to freedom room for her plough, and forge, and loom. Take your slavery blackened veils, leave us but our own free gales, blowing on our thousand sails. Onward with your fell design, dig the gulf and draw the line, fire beneath your feet the mine, deeply, when the wide abyss yawns between your land and this, shall ye feel your helplessness. By the hearth, and in the bed, shaken by a look or tread, ye shall own a guilty dread. And the curse of unpaid toil, downward through your generous soil, like a fire shall burn and spoil. Our bleak hills shall bud and blow, vines our rocks shall overgrow, plenty in our valleys flow, and when vengeance clouds your skies, hither shall ye turn your eyes, as the damned on paradise. We but ask our rocky strand, freedom's true and brother band, freedom's strong and honest hand, valleys by the slave untrod, and the pilgrim's mountain sod, blessed of our fathers God. The clarion of freedom. Words from the Emancipator. Music the chariot. Listen PDF Lilliput the clarion of freedom now sounds, from the east to the west independence resounds, from the hills, and the streams, and the far distant skies, let the shout independence from slavery arise. The army have taken the field, and the liberty hosts never, never will yield, by free principles strengthened, each bosom now glows, and with ardor immortal the struggle they close. The armor that girds every breast, is the hope of deliverance for millions oppressed, o'er the tears, and the sighs, and the wrongs of the slave, see the white flag of freedom triumphantly wave. The conflict will shortly be o'er, and the demon of slavery shall rule us no more, and the laurels of victory shall surely reward the heroes immortal who've conquered for God. Strike for liberty. Words from the Christian Freeman. Air, Scots Wahat. Listen PDF Lilliput sons of freedom's honored sires, light anew your beacon fires, fight till every foe retires from your hallowed soil. Sons of pilgrim fathers blessed, pilgrim mothers gone to rest, listen to their high behest, strike for liberty. Ministers of God to men, heed ye not the nation's sin? Heaven's blessing can ye win if ye falter now? Men of blood now ask your vote, o'er your heads their banners float, raise, oh raise the warning note, God and duty call. Men of justice, bold and brave, to the ballot box and save freedom from her opening grave onward. Brothers, on. Christian patriots, tried and true, freedom's eyes now turn to you, foes are many are ye few. Gideon's God is yours. On to victory. By Rev. M.R.S. Martin. Children of the glorious dead, who for freedom fought and bled, with her banner o'er you spread, on to victory. Not for stern ambition's prize, do our hopes and wishes rise, lo, our leader from the skies, bids us do or die. Ours is not the tented field, we no earthly weapons wield, light and love, our sword and shield, truth our panoply. This is proud oppression's hour, storms are round us, shall we cower? While beneath a despot's power groans the suffering slave. While on every southern gale, comes the helpless captive's tale, and the voice of woman's wail, and of man's despair. While our homes and rights are dear, guarded still with watchful fear, shall we coldly turn our ear from the suppliant's prayer? Never. By our country's shame never. By a Saviour's claim, to the men of every name, whom he died to save. Onward, then, ye fearless band, heart to heart, and hand to hand, yours shall be the patriot's stand or the martyr's grave. The Man for Me. Parody by J.N.T. Tucker. Air, the rose that all are praising. Listen PDF Lilliput oh, he is not the man for me, who buys or sells a slave, nor he who will not set him free, but sends him to his grave, but he whose noble heart beats warm for all men's life and liberty, who loves alike each human form. Oh, that's the man for me, oh, that's the man for me, oh, that's the man for me. He's not at all the man for me, who sells a man for gain, who bends the pliant servile knee, to slavery's god of shame. But he whose godlike form erect proclaims that all alike are free to think, and speak, and vote, and act, oh, that's the man for me. He sure is not the man for me whose spirit will succumb, when men endowed with liberty lie bleeding, bound and dumb, but he whose faithful words of might ring through the land from shore to sea, for man's eternal equal right, oh, that's the man for me. No, no, he's not the man for me whose voice o'er hill and plain, breaks forth for glorious liberty, but binds himself, the chain. The mightiest of the noble band who prays and toils the world to free, with head, and heart, and voice, and vote, oh, that's the man for me. Pilgrim Song. Words by Geo Lunt. Air Troubadour. Listen PDF Lilliput. Over the mountain waves see where they come, storm cloud and wintry wind welcome them home, yet where the sounding gale howls to the sea, there their song peals along, deep-toned and free. Pilgrims and wanderers, hither we come, where the free dare to be, this is our home. England hath sunny dales, dearly they bloom, Scotia hath heather hills, sweet their perfume, yet through the wilderness cheerful we stray, native land home far away. Pilgrims, and see dim grew the forest path, onward they trod, firm beat their noble hearts, trusting in God. Grey men and blooming maids, high rose their song, hear it sweep, clear and deep ever along. Pilgrims, and see. Not theirs the glory wreath, torn by the blast, heavenward their holy steps, heavenward they passed. Green be their mossy graves. Ours be their fame, while their song peals along, ever the same. Pilgrims, and see. The Bondman. From the Liberator. Feebly the bondman toiled, sadly he wept, then to his wretched cot mournfully crept, how doth his freeborn soul pine neath his chain. Slavery! Slavery! Dark is thy reign. Long ere the break of day, roused from repose, wearily toiling till after its close, praying for freedom, he spends his last breath, liberty. Liberty. Give me, or death. When, O Lord, will right triumph o'er wrong? Tyrants oppress the weak, O Lord. How long? Hark! Hark! A peal resounds from shore to shore. Tyranny! Tyranny! Thy reign is o'er. E'en now the morning gleams from the east, despots are feeling their triumph is past, strong hearts are answering to freedom's loud call. Liberty! Liberty! Full and for all. 4th of July. Words by Mrs. Sigourney. Music by GWC. Listen PDF Lilliput. We have a goodly climb, broad vales and streams we boast, our mountain frontiers frown sublime, old ocean guards our coast. Suns bless our harvests fair, with fervid smile serene, but a dark shade is gathering there, what can its blackness mean? We have a birthright proud, for our young sons to claim, an eagle soaring o'er the cloud, in freedom and in fame. We have a scutcheon bright, by our dead fathers bought, a fearful blot distance its white who hath such evil wrought. Our banner o'er the sea looks forth with starry eye, emblazoned glorious, bold and free, a letter on the sky. What hand with shameful stain, hath marred its heavenly blue? The yoke, the fasces, and the chain, say, are these emblems true? This day doth music rare swell through our nation's bound, but Afric's wailing mingles there, and heaven doth hear the sound. O God of power! We turn in penitence to thee, bid our loved land the lesson learn to bid the slave be free. Yes, spirits of the free! Ere my faith looks up to thee. Listen PDF Lilliput. Yes, spirits of the free, can ye forever see your brother man a yoked and scourged slave, chains dragging to his grave, and raise no hand to save? Say if you can. In pride and pomp to roll, shall tyrants from the soul God's image tear, and call the wreck their own, while from th eternal throne, they shut the stifled groan, and bitter prayer? Shall he a slave be bound, whom God hath doubly crowned creation's Lord? Shall men of Christian name, without a blush of shame, profess their tyrant claim from God's own word? No. At the battle cry, a host prepared to die, shall arm for fight, but not with martial steel, grasped with a murderous zeal, no arms their foes shall feel, but love and light. Firm on Jehovah's laws, strong in their righteous cause, they march to save. And vain the tyrant's mail, against their battle hail, till cease the woe and wail of tortured slave. Sing me a triumph song. Sing me a triumph song, roll the glad notes along, great God, to thee. Thine be the glory bright, source of all power and might. For thou hast said, in might, man shall be free. Sing me a triumph song, let all the sound prolong, air, earth, and sea, down falls the tyrant's power, see his dread minions cower, now, from this glorious hour, man will be free. Sing me a triumph song, sing in the mighty throng, sing jubilee. Let the broad welkin ring, while to heaven's mighty King, honor and praise we sing, for man is free. Wake, sons of the pilgrims. Ere M. Gregor's gathering. Listen PDF Lilliput. Wake, sons of the pilgrims, and look to your right. The despots of slavery are up in their might, indulge not in sleep, it's like digging the graves of blood-purchased freedom, 'tis yielding like slaves. Then halloo, halloo, halloo to the contest, awake from your slumbers, no longer delay, but struggle for freedom, while struggle you may then rally, 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 while our forests shall wave or while rushes a river, oh, yield not your birthright. Maintain it forever. Wake, sons of the pilgrims. Why slumber ye on? Your chains are now forging, your fetters are done, oh. Sleep not, like Samson, on slavery's foul arm, for, Delilah-like, she's now planning your harm. Then halloo, 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 to the contest. Awake from your sleeping nor slumber again, once bound in your fetters, you'll struggle in vain, while your eyeballs may move, oh wake up now, or never wake, freeman. Awake, or you're ruined forever. Yes, freemen are waking. We fling to the breeze, the bright flag of freedom, the banner of peace, the slave long forgotten, forlorn, and alone, we hail as a brother our own mother's son. Then halloo, 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 to the contest. For freedom we rally, for freedom to all, to rescue the slave, and ourselves too from thrall. We rally, 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 while a slave shall remain, bound, the weak by the stronger, we will never disband, but strive harder and longer. Our countrymen are dying. Words by C.W. Denison. Tune from Greenland's icy mountains. Listen PDF Lilliput. Our countrymen are dying beneath their cankering chains, full many a heart is sighing, where naught but slavery reigns, no note of joy and gladness, no voice with freedom's lay, fall on them in their sadness, to wipe those tears away. Where proud Potomac dashes along its northern strand, where Rappahannock lashes Virginia's sparkling sand, where Utah, famed in story, flows swift to Santee's stream, there in grief and gory, the pining slave is seen. And shall New England's daughters, descendants of the free, beside whose far-famed waters is heard sweet minstrelsy, shall they, when hearts are breaking, and woman weeps in woe, shall they, all listless waiting, no hearts of pity show? No. Let the shout for freedom ring out a certain peal, let sire and youthful maiden, all who have hearts to feel, awake. And with the blessing of him who came to save, a holy, peaceful triumph, shall greet the kneeling slave. We ask not martial glory. We ask not martial glory, nor battles bravely won, we tell no boastful story to laud our favorite son, we do not seek to gather from glory's field of blood, the laurels of the warrior, steeped in the crimson flood, but we can boast that Birney holds not the tyrant's rod, nor binds in chains and fetters, the image of his God, no vassal, at his bidding, is doomed the lash to feel, no menial crouches near him, no Charlie's three at his heel. His heart is free from murder, his hand without its stain, his head and heart united, to loose the bondman's chain, his deeds of noble daring, shall make the tyrant cower, oppression flees before him, with all its boasted power. Soon shall the voice of freedom, o'er earth its echoes roll, and earth's rejoicing millions be free, from pole to pole. Then rally round your leader, ye friends of liberty, and let the shout for Birney, ring out o'er land and sea. Come, join the abolitionists. Ere when I can read my title clear. Listen PDF Lilliput, come, join the abolitionists, ye young men bold and strong, and with a warm and cheerful zeal, come, help the cause along, come help the cause along, come help the cause along, and with a warm and cheerful zeal, come, help the cause along. Oh, that will be joyful, 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 oh, that will be joyful, when slavery is no more, when slavery is no more, when slavery is no more, 'tis then we'll sing, and offerings bring, when slavery is no more. Come, join the abolitionists, ye men of riper years, and save your wives and children dear, from grief and bitter tears, from grief and bitter tears, from grief and bitter tears, and save your wives and children dear, from grief and bitter tears. Oh, that will be joyful, 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 oh, that will be joyful, when slavery is no more, when slavery is no more, when slavery is no more, 'tis then we'll sing, and offerings bring, when slavery is no more. Come join the abolitionists, ye dames and maidens fair, and breathe around us in our path, affection's hallowed air. Oh, that will be joyful, 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 oh, that will be joyful, when woman cheers us on, when woman cheers us on, when woman cheers us on, to conquests not yet won, 'tis then we'll sing, and offerings bring, when woman cheers us on. Come, join the abolitionists, yes, sons and daughters all, of this our own America, come at the friendly call. Oh, that will be joyful, joyful, oh, that will be joyful, when all shall proudly say, this is freedom's day, oppression flee away. 'Tis then we'll sing and offerings bring, when freedom wins the day. We are come, all come. By GWC Listen PDF Lilliput, we are come, all come, with the crowded throng, to join our notes in a plaintive song, for the bondman sighs, and the scalding tear runs down his cheek while we mingle here. We are come, all come, with a hallowed vow, at the shrine of slavery never to bow, for the despot's reign o'er hill and plain, spreads grief and woe in his horrid train. We are come, all come, a determined band, to rescue the slave from the tyrant's hand, and our prayers shall ascend with our songs to him who sits in the midst of the cherubim. We are come, all come, in the strength of youth, in the light of hope and the power of truth, and we joy to see in our ranks today, the honored locks of the good and gray. We are come, all come, in our holy might, and freedom's foes shall be put to flight, O God. With favoring smiles from thee, our songs shall soon chant the victory. The Law of Love. Words by a Lady. Music by GWC. Listen PDF. Lilliput. Blessed is the man whose tender heart feels all another's pain, to whom the supplicating eye was never raised in vain, was never raised in vain. Whose breast expands with generous warmth, a stranger's woe to feel, and bleeds in pity o'er the wound. He wants the power to heal, he wants the power to heal. He spreads his kind supporting arms, to every child of grief, his secret bounty largely flows, and brings unasked relief. To gentle offices of love his feet are never slow, he views, through mercy's melting eye, a brother in his foe. To him protection shall be shown, and mercy from above descend on those, who thus fulfill the perfect law of love. O charity! O charity! Thou heavenly grace, all tender, soft, and kind, a friend to all the human race, to all that's good inclined. The man of charity extends to all his helping hand, his kindred, neighbors, foes, and friends, his pity may command. The sick, the prisoner, deaf, and blind, and all the sons of grief, in him a benefactor find, he loves to give relief. 'Tis love that makes religion sweet, 'tis love that makes us rise, with willing minds, and ardent feet, to yonder happy skies. The Mercy Seed. Words by Mrs. Sigourney. Music by GWC. Listen PDF. Lilliput. From every stormy wind that blows, from every swelling tide of woes, there is a calm, a sure retreat. Our refuge is the mercy seat. There is a place where Jesus sheds the oil of gladness on our heads, a place than all beside more sweet. We seek the blood-bought mercy seat. There is a spot where spirits blend, where friend holds fellowship with friend, though sundered far, by faith we meet, around one common mercy seat. Ah! Whither could we flee for aid, when hunted, scourged, oppressed, dismayed, or how our bloody foes defeat, had suffering slaves no mercy seat? Oh! Let these hands forget their skill, these tongues be silent, cold, and still, these throbbing hearts forget to beat, if we forget the mercy seat. Friend of the friendless, God of my life, to thee I call, afflicted at thy feet I fall, when the great water floods prevail, leave not my trembling heart to fail. Friend of the friendless and the faint, where should I lodge my deep complaint? Where but with thee, whose open door invites the helpless and the poor? Did ever mourner plead with thee, and thou refuse that mourner's plea? Does not thy word still fixed remain, that none shall seek thy face in vain? Poor though I am, despised, forgot, yet God, my God forgets me not, and he is safe, he must succeed, for whom the Lord vouchsafes to plead. Wake ye numbers. Words by Lewis. Air, strike the cymbals. Listen PDF. Lilliput. Wake ye numbers. From your slumbers hear the song of freedom pour. By its shaking, fiercely breaking, every chain upon our shore. Flags are waving, all tyrants braving, proudly, freely, o'er our plains, let no minions check our pinions, while a single grief remains. Proud oblations, thou Queen of nations, have been poured upon thy waters, Afric's bleeding sons and daughters, now before us, loud implore us, looking to Jehovah's throne, chains are wearing, hearts despairing, will ye hear a nation's moan? Soothe their sorrow, ere the morrow change their aching hearts to stone, then the light of nature's smile freedom's realm shall bless the while, and the pleasure mercy brings flow from all her latent springs, delight shall spread her shining wings, rejoicing, rejoicing, rejoicing. Daily, nightly, burning brightly, glory's pillar fills the air, hearts are waking, chains are breaking, freedom bids her sons prepare, o'er the ocean, in proud devotion, incense rises to the skies, from our mountains, o'er our fountains, see, our eagle proudly flies. What deploring impedes his soaring? Millions still in bondage sighing, long in deep oppression lying. Shall their story mar our glory? Must their life in sorrow flow? Tears are falling, fetters galling. Listen to the cry of woe. Still oppressing, never blessing. Shall their grief no ending know? Yes. Our nation yet shall feel, time shall break the chain of steel, then the slave shall nobly stand, peace shall smile with luster bland, glory shall crown our happy land forever. Comfort for the bondman. Air Indian philosopher. Listen PDF Lilliput, come on, my partners in distress, my comrades in this wilderness, who groan beneath your chains, a while forget your griefs and fears, and look beyond this veil of tears, to yon celestial plains. Beyond the bounds of time and space, look forward to that heavenly place, which mortals never trod, on faith's strong eagle pinions rise, work out your passage to the skies, and scale the mount of God. If, like our Lord, we suffer here, we shall before his face appear, and at his side sit down, to patient faith the prize is sure, for all who to the end endure shall wear a glorious crown. Thrice blessed, exalted, blissful hope. It lifts our fainting spirits up, it brings to life the dead, our bondage here will soon be past, then we shall rise and reign at last, triumphant with our head. Come and see the works of God. Lift up to God the shout of joy, let all the earth its powers employ, to sound his glorious praise, say, unto God how great art thou! Thy foes before thy presence bow. How gracious are thy ways! To thee all lands their homage bring, they raise the song, they shout, they sing the honors of thy name. Come. See the wondrous works of God, how dreadful is his vengeful rod. How wide extends his fame. He made a highway through the sea, his people, long enslaved, to free, and give them Canaan's land. Through endless years his reign extends, his piercing eye to earth he bends, ye despots. Fear his hand. Oh! Bless our God, lift up your voice, ye people. Sing aloud, rejoice, his mighty praise declare, the Lord hath made our bondage cease, broke off our chains, brought sure release, and turned to praise our prayer. Hark! A voice from heaven. Words by Oliver Johnson. Music Zion. Listen PDF Lilliput, hark! A voice from heaven proclaiming, comfort to the mourning slave, God has heard him long complaining, and extends his arm to save. Proud oppression soon shall find a shameful grave, proud oppression, soon shall find a shameful end. See, the light of truth is breaking full and clear on every hand, and the voice of mercy speaking, now is heard through all the land, firm and fearless, see the friends of freedom stand low. The nation is arousing from its slumber long and deep, and the friends of God are waking, never, never more to sleep, while a bondman, in his chains remains to weep. Long, too long, have we been dreaming o'er our country's sin and shame, let us now, the time redeeming, press the helpless captive's claim till exulting, he shall cast aside his chain. The pleasant land we love. Words by N.P. Willis. Air, Carrier Dove. Listen PDF Lilliput, joy to the pleasant land we love, the land our fathers trod. Joy to the land for which they won freedom to worship God. For peace on all its sunny hills, on every mountain broods, and sleeps by all its gushing rills, and all its mighty floods. The wife sits meekly by the hearth, her infant child beside, the father on his noble boy looks with a fearless pride. The grey old man, beneath the tree, tales of his childhood tells, and sweetly in the hush of morn peal out the Sabbath bells. And we are free, but is there not one blot upon our name? Is our proud record written fair upon the scroll of fame? Our banner floateth by the shore, our flag upon the sea, but when the fettered slave is loosed, we shall be truly free. The freed slave. Yet once again, once more again, my bark bounds o'er the wave, they know not, who ne'er clanked the chain, what 'tis to be a slave, to sit alone, beside the wood, and gaze upon the sky. This may, indeed, be solitude, but 'tis not slavery. Fatigued with labor's noontide task, to sigh in vain for sleep, or faintly smile, our griefs to mask, when tea would be joy to weep, to court the shade of leafy bower, thirst for the freedom wave, but to obtain denied the power, this is to be a slave. Son of the sword. On honor's field 'tis thine to find a grave, yet, when from life's worst ill twould shield, it comes not to the slave. The lightsome to the heavy heart, the laugh changed to the sigh, to live from all we love apart, oh. This is slavery. The Liberty Flag. Altered from J. H. Aikman. Fling abroad its folds to the cooling breeze, let it float at the masthead high, and gather around, all hearts resolved, to sustain it there or die, an emblem of peace and hope to the world, unstained let it ever be, and say to the world, where'er it waves, our flag is the flag of the free. That banner proclaims to the listening earth, that the reign of base tyrants is o'er, the galling chain of the cruel Lord, shall enslave mankind no more, an emblem of hope to the poor and crushed, oh place it where all may see, and shout with glad voice as you raise it high, our flag is the flag of the free. Then on high let that banner wave, and lead us the foe to meet, let it float in triumph o'er our heads, or be our winding sheet, and never, oh, never be it furled, till it wave o'er earth and sea, and all mankind shall swell the shout, our flag is the flag of the free. March to the battlefield. Parody by GWC Air oft in the stilly night. Listen PDF Lilliput march to the battlefield, the foe is now before us, each heart is freedom's shield, and heaven is smiling o'er us. The woes and pains of slavery's chains, that bind 3 millions under, in proud disdain will burst their chain, and tear each link asunder. Who for his country brave, would fly from her invader? Who his base life to save would traitor like degrade her? Our hallowed cause, our homes and laws, gainst tyrant hosts sustaining, will win a crown of bright renown, or die, man's rights maintaining, march to the battlefield, and see oft in the chilly night. By Pierpont. Oft in the chilly night, ere slumber's chain has bound me, when all her silvery light the moon is pouring round me, beneath its ray I kneel and pray that God would give some token that slavery's chains on southern plains, shall all ere long be broken. Yes, in the chilly night, though slavery's chain has bound me, kneel I and feel the might of God's right arm around me. When at the driver's call, in cold or sultry weather, we slaves, both great and small, turn out to toil together, I feel like one from whom the sun of hope has long departed, and morning's light, and weary night, still find me broken hearted. Thus, when the chilly breath of night is sighing round me, kneel I and wish that death in his cold chain had bound me. Song of the Free. Parroted by GWC Tune, Lutzow's Wild Hunt. Listen PDF Lilliput from valley and mountain, from hilltop and glen, what shouts through the air are rebounding. An echo is sending the sounds back again, and loud through the air they are sounding, and loud through the air they are sounding, and if you ask what those joyous strains, 'tis the songs of bondmen now bursting their chains. And who through our nation is waging the fight? What host from the battle is flying? Our true-hearted freemen maintain the right, and the monster oppression is dying, and the monster oppression is dying, and if you ask what you there behold, 'tis the army of freemen, the true and the bold. Too long have slave-holders triumphantly reigned, too long in their chains have they bound us, to freedom awaking, no longer enchained, the goddess of freedom has saved us, the goddess of freedom has saved us, and if you ask what has made us free? 'Tis the vote that gave us our liberty. Holy freedom. By Pierpont. The bondmen are free in the Isles of the Main. The chains from their limbs they are flinging. They stand up as men, never tyrant again, in the pride of his heart, shall God's image profane. It is liberty's song that is ringing. Hark! Loud comes the cry o'er the bounding sea, freedom! Freedom! Freedom, our joy is in thee. Alas! That today, on Columbia's shore, the groans of her slaves are resounding. On plains of the South their life-blood they pour. Oh, freemen! Blessed freemen! Your help they implore. It is slavery's wail that is sounding. Hark! Loud comes the cry on the southern gale, freedom! Freedom! Freedom or death, must prevail. O ye who are blessed with fair liberty's light, with courage and hope all abounding, with weapons of love be ye bold for the right. By the preaching of truth put oppression to flight. Then, your altars triumphant surrounding, loud, loud let the anthem of joy ring out. Freedom! Freedom, list all the world to the shout. Ye sons of freemen. Words by Mrs. J. G. Carter. Air, Marseille's hymn. Listen PDF Lilliput. Ye sons of freemen wake to sadness, hark! Hark, what myriads bid you rise, 3 millions of our race in madness break out in wails, in bitter cries, break out in wails, in bitter cries, must men whose hearts now bleed with anguish, yes, trembling slaves, in freedom's land endure the lash, nor raise a hand? Must nature neath the whipcord languish? Have pity on the slave, take courage from God's word, pray on, all hearts resolved, these captives shall be free. The fearful storm it threatens lowering, which God in mercy long delays, slaves yet may see their masters cowering, while whole plantations smoke and blaze. While whole plantations smoke and blaze. And we may now prevent the ruin, ere lawless force with guilty stride shall scatter vengeance far and wide with untold crimes their hands embruing. Have pity on the slave, take courage from God's word, pray on, all hearts resolved these captives shall be free. With luxury and wealth surrounded, the southern masters proudly dare, with thirst of gold and power unbounded, to meet and vend God's light and air. To meet and vend God's light and air, like beasts of burden, slaves are loaded, till life's poor toilsome day is o'er, while they in vain for right implore, and shall they longer still be goaded? Have pity on the slave, take courage from God's word, toil on, all hearts resolved these captives shall be free. O liberty! Can man bind thee? Can overseers quench thy flame? Can dungeons, bolts, or bars confine thee, or threats thy heaven-born spirit tame? Or threats thy heaven-born spirit tame? Too long the slave has groaned bewailing the power these heartless tyrants wield, yet free them not by sword or shield, for with men's hearts they're unavailing. Have pity on the slave, take courage from God's word, vote on. Vote on. All hearts resolved these captives shall be free. Are ye truly free? Words by J.R. Lowell. Air, Martin. Listen PDF Lilliput men. Whose boast it is that ye come of fathers brave and free, if there breathe on earth a slave, are ye truly free and brave? Are ye not base slaves indeed, men unworthy to be freed? If ye do not feel the chain, when it works a brother's pain. Women. Who shall one day bear sons to breathe God's bounteous air, if ye hear without a blush, deeds to make the roused blood rush like red lava through your veins, for your sisters now in chains, answer. Are ye fit to be mothers of the brave and free? Is true freedom but to break fetters for our own dear sake, and, with leathern hearts forget that we owe mankind a debt? No. True freedom is to share all the chains our brothers wear, and with hand and heart to be earnest to make others free. They are slaves who fear to speak for the fallen and the weak, they are slaves, who will not choose hatred, scoffing, and abuse, rather than, in silence, shrink from the truth they needs must think, they are slaves, who dare not be in the right with two or three. That's my country. Does the land, in native might, pant for liberty and right? Long to cast from humankind chains of body and of mind. That's my country, that's the land I can love with heart and hand, o'er her miseries weep and sigh, for her glory live and die. Does the land her banner wave, most invitingly, to save, wooing to her arms of love, strangers who would freemen prove? That's the land to which I cling, of her glories I can sing, on her altar nobly swear higher still her fame to rear. Does the land no conquest make, but the war for honor's sake count the greatest triumph won, that which most of good has done? That's the land approved of God, that's the land whose stainless sod o'er my sleeping dust shall bloom, noblest land and noblest tomb. Liberty Battle Song. From the Emancipator. Air our warrior's heart. Listen PDF Lilliput arouse, ye friends of law and right, arouse, arouse, arouse. All who in freedom's cause delight, arouse, arouse, arouse. The time, is drawing near, when we must at our posts appear, then clear the decks for action, clear. Arouse, arouse, arouse. Awake, and couch truth's fatal dart awake. 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 Bid error to the shades depart, awake. 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 Prepare to deal the deadly blow, to lay the power of slavery low, a ballad, lads, is our veto, awake. 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 Arise. Ye sons of honest toil, arise. 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 Ye freeborn tillers of the soil, arise. 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 Come from your workshops and the field, we've sworn to conquer ere we'll yield, the ballot box is freedom's shield, arise. 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 Unite, and strike for equal laws, unite. 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 For equal justice. That's our cause, unite. 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 Shall the vile Slavites win the day? Shall men of whips and blood bear sway? Unite, and dash their chains away, unite. 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 March on. And vote the hireling down, march on. March on. March on. Our blighted land with blessings crown, march on. March on. March on. Shall manhood ever wear the chain? Shall freedom look to us in vain? Up to the struggle. Strike again. March on. March on. March on. Hurrah! The word passed down the line, hurrah! 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 Bernie's and Morris' name shall shine, hurrah! 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 Like comets, on their country's page, without a cloud, undimmed by age, revered by patriot and by sage, hurrah! 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 Bernie and Liberty! Hurrah! The ball is rolling on, hurrah! 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 In spite of Whig or Loco Don, hurrah! 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 Our country still has hopes to rise, the bravest efforts win the prize, hurrah! And see, with joy elate our friends appear, hurrah! 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 Our vaunting foes are filled with fear, hurrah! 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 10,000 slaves have run away from Georgia to Canada, hurrah! And see lo! All the world for Bernie now, hurrah! 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 See! As he comes the parties bow, hurrah! 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 No iron mixed with miry clay, will ever do, the people say, hurrah! And see! Then up, ye hearties, one and all! Hurrah! 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 Be faithful to your country's call, hurrah! 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 Let none the vote of freedom shun, run to the meeting run, run, run! Hurrah, and see be Bernie's name the one you choose, hurrah! 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 Let not a soul his ballot lose, hurrah! 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 No other man in this our day will ever do, the people say, hurrah! And see the ballot bucks. Air from Lincoln. Listen PDF Lilliput freedom's consecrated dower, casket of a priceless gem. Nobler heritage of power, than imperial diadem. Cornerstone, on which was reared, liberty's triumphal dome, when her glorious form appeared, midst our own green mountain home. Guard it, freemen. Guard it well, spotless as your maiden's fame. Never let your children tell of your weakness, of your shame, that their fathers basely sold, what was bought with blood and toil, that you bartered right for gold, here, on freedom's sacred soil. Let your eagle's quenchless eye, fixed, unerring, sleepless, bright, watch, when danger hovers nigh, from his lofty mountain height, while the stripes and stars shall wave o'er this treasure, pure and free the land's palladium, it shall save the home and shrine of liberty. Christian Mother. By Miss C. Christian Mother, when thy prayer trembles on the twilight air, and thou askest God to keep in their waking and their sleep, those, whose love is more to thee than the wealth of land or sea, think of those who wildly mourn for the loved ones from them torn. Christian daughter, sister, wife, yet who wear a guarded life, yea, whose bliss hangs not, thank God, on a tyrant's word or nod, will yet hear, with careless eye, of the wild, despairing cry, rising up from human hearts, as their latest bliss departs. Blessed ones, whom no hands on earth dare to wrench from home and hearth, yea, whose hearts are sheltered well, by affection's holy spell, oh, forget not those for whom life is not but changeless gloom. O'er whose days, so woe-begone, hope may paint no brighter dawn. The Liberty Party. Words by E. Wright, Junior. Tune 'tis dawn, the lark is singing. Listen PDF Lilliput will ye despise the acorn, just thrusting out its shoot, ye giants of the forest, that strike the deepest root? Will ye despise the streamlets upon the mountain side, ye broad and mighty rivers, on sweeping to the tide? Wilt thou despise the crescent, that trembles, newly born, thou bright and peerless planet, whose reign shall reach the morn? Time now his scythe is whetting, ye giant oaks, for you, ye floods, the sea is thirsting, to drink you like the dew. That crescent, faint and trembling, her lamp shall nightly trim, till thou, imperious planet, shall in her light grow dim, and so shall wax the party, now feeble at its birth, till liberty shall cover this tyrant-trodden earth. That party, as we term it, the party of the whole, has for its firm foundation, the substance of the soul, it groweth out of reason, the strongest soil below, the smaller is its budding, the more its room to grow. Then rally to its banners, supported by the true. The weakest are the waning, the many are the few, of what is small, but living, God makes himself the nurse, while onward cry the voices of all his universe. Our plant is of the cedar, that knoweth not decay, its growth shall bless the mountains, till mountains pass away. God speed the infant party, the party of the whole, and surely he will do it, while reason is its soul. Be free, O man, be free. Words by Mary H. Maxwell. Music by GWC. Listen PDF. Lilliput. The storm winds wildly blowing, the bursting billows mock, as with their foam crests glowing, they dash the sea-girt rock. Amid the wild commotion, the revel of the sea, a voice is on the ocean, be free, O man, be free. Behold the sea brine leaping high in the murky air, list to the tempest sweeping in chainless fury there. What moves the mighty torrent, and bids it flow abroad? Or turns the rapid current? What, but the voice of God? Then, answer, is the spirit less noble or less free? From whom does it inherit the doom of slavery? When man can bind the waters, that they no longer roll, then let him forge the fetters to clog the human soul. Till then a voice is stealing from earth and sea and sky, and to the soul revealing its immortality. The swift wind chants the numbers careering o'er the sea, and earth aroused from slumbers, re-echoes, man, be free. Arouse. Arouse. Arouse, arouse, arouse. Ye bold New England men. No more with sullen brows, remain as ye have been, your country's freedom calls, once bought by patriots' blood, rouse, or that freedom falls beneath the tyrant's rod. 3,000,000 men in chains, your friendly aid implore, slight you the piteous strains that from their bosoms pour? Shall it be told in story, or trolled in burning song, New England's boasted glory forgot the bondman's wrong? Shall freemen's sons be taunted, that freedom's spirits fled, that what the fathers vaunted, with sordid sons is dead? That they in groveling gain have lost their ancient fire, and neath the despot's chain, let liberty expire? Oh no, your fathers' bones would cry out from the ground, and New England's stones would echo on the sound. Rouse, then, New England men. Rally in freedom's name. In your bosoms once again light up the sleeping flame. The last night of slavery. Tune Cherokee Death Song. Listen PDF. Lilliput. Let the floods clap their hands, let the mountains rejoice, let all the glad lands breathe a jubilant voice. The sun that now sets on the waves of the sea shall gild with his rising the land of the free. Let the islands be glad. For their king in his might, who his glory hath clad with a garment of light, in the waters the beams of his chambers hath laid, and in the green waters his pathway hath made. No more shall the deep, lend its awe-stricken waves, in their caverns to steep its wild burden of slaves. The Lord sitteth king on the flood, he heard, and hath answered the voice of their blood. Dispel the blue haze, golden fountain of morn. With meridian blaze the wide ocean adorn, the sunlight has touched the glad waves of the sea, and day now illumines the land of the free. The Little Slave Girl. Words by a Lady. Airmore, Guyana in Ireland. Listen PDF. Lilliput. When bright morning lights the hills, where free children sing most cheerily, my young breast with sorrow fills, while here I plod my way so wearily, sad my face, more sad my heart, from home, from all I had to part, a loving mother, my sister, my brother, for chains and lash in hopeless misery. Children, try it, could you try it, but one day to live in slavery? Children, try it, try it, try it, come, come, give me liberty. Ere I close my eyes to sleep, thoughts of home keep coming over me, all alone I wake and weep, yet mother hears not, no one pities me, never smiling, sick, forlorn, oh that I had ne'er been born. I should not sorrow to die tomorrow, then Mother Earth would kindly shelter me. Children, try it, could you try it? Give me freedom, yes, from misery. Children, try it, try it, try it. Come, come, give me liberty. Stolen we were. Words by a colored man. Listen PDF Lilliput stolen. We were from Africa, transported to America. It's work all day and half the night, and rise before the morning light. Sinner. Man. Why don't you repent? For the judgment is rolling around. For the judgment is rolling around. Like the brute beast in public street, endure the cold and stand the heat. King Jesus told you once before to go your way and sin no more, sinner. Man. And see. If I reach the northern shore, I'll ne'er go back, no, never more. I think I hear these ladies say, we'll sing for freedom night and day, sinner. Man. And see. Now let us all, yes, every man, vote for the slave, for now we can, break every chain and every yoke, vote not for Clay nor James K. Polk, sinner. Man. And see, come let us go for James G. Birney, who sells not flesh and blood for money. He is the man you all can see, who gave his slaves their liberty, sinner. Man. And see. We hail thee as an honest man. God made thee on his noblest plan, to stand for freedom in that hour, to thrust a blow at slavery's power, sinner. Man. And see. A Vision for Words by Crary. Music by GWC. Listen PDF Lilliput. At dead of night, when others sleep, near hell I took my station, and from that dungeon, dark and deep, heard this conversation. Hail, Prince of Darkness, ever hail, adored by each infernal, I come among your gang to wail, and taste of death eternal. Where are you from? The fiend demands. What makes you look so frantic? Are you from Carolina's strand, just west of the Atlantic? Are you that man of blood and birth, devoid of human feeling? The wretch I saw, when last on earth, in human cattle dealing? Whose soul, with blood and rapine stained, with deeds of crime to dark it, who drove God's image, starved and chained, to sell like beasts in market? Who tore the infant from the breast, that you might sell its mother? Whose craving mind could never rest, till you had sold a brother? Who gave the sacrament to those whose chains and handcuffs rattle? Whose back soon after felt the blows, more heavy than thy cattle? I'm from the south, the ghost replies, and I was there a teacher, saw men in chains, with laughing eyes. I was a southern preacher. In tasseled pulpits, gay and fine, I strove to please the tyrants, to prove that slavery is divine, and what the scripture warrants. And when I saw the horrid sight, of slaves by tortures dying, and told their masters all was right, I knew that I was lying. I knew all this, and who can doubt, I felt a sad misgiving? But still, I knew, if I spoke out, that I should lose my living. They made me fat, they paid me well, to preach down abolition. I slept, I died, I woke in hell. How altered my condition! I now am in a sea of fire, whose fury ever rages. I am a slave, and can't get free, through everlasting ages. Yes. When the sun and moon shall fade, and fire the rocks dissever, I must sink down beneath the shade, and feel God's wrath forever. Our ghost stood trembling all the while he saw the scene transpiring, with soul aghast and visage sad. All hope was now retiring. The demon cried, on vengeance bent, I say, in haste, retire. And you shall have a Negro sent to attend and punch the fire. Get off the track. Words by Jesse Hutchinson. Air, Dan Tucker. Listen PDF Lilliput Ho. The car Emancipation rides majestic through our nation, bearing on its train the story, liberty. A nation's glory. Roll it along, through the nation, freedom's car, emancipation. Men of various predilections, frightened, run in all directions, merchants, editors, physicians, lawyers, priests and politicians. Get out of the way. Every station. Clear the track of emancipation. Let the ministers and churches leave behind sectarian lurches, jump on board the car of freedom, ere it be too late to need them. Sound the alarm. Pulpits thunder. Ere too late you see your blunder. Politicians gazed, astounded, when, at first, our bell resounded, freight trains are coming, tell these foxes, with our votes and ballot boxes. Jump for your lives. Politicians, from your dangerous, false positions. Railroads to emancipation cannot rest on clay foundation. And the tracks of the Pocation are but railroads to perdition. Pull up the rails. Emancipation cannot rest on such foundation. All true friends of emancipation, haste to freedom's railroad station, quick into the cars get seated, all is ready and completed, put on the steam. All are crying, and the liberty flags are flying. On, triumphant see them bearing, through sectarian rubbish tearing, the bell and whistle and the steaming, startle thousands from their dreaming. Look out for the cars while the bell rings. Ere the sound your funeral knell rings. See the people run to meet us, at the depots thousands greet us, all take seats with exultation, in the car emancipation. Huzzah! Huzzah! Emancipation soon will bless our happy nation. Huzzah! 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 Emancipation Song. Words from the Bangor Gazette. Air, Crambambule. Listen PDF Lilliput, let waiting throngs now lift their voices, as freedom's glorious day draws near, while every gentle tongue rejoices, and each bold heart is filled with cheer. The slave has seen the northern star, he'll soon be free. Hurrah, 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 hurrah. Though many still are writhing under the cruel whips of chevaliers, who mothers from their children sunder, and scourge them for their helpless tears, their safe deliverance is not far. The day draws nigh, hurrah, hurrah. Just ere the dawn the darkness deepest surrounds the earth as with a pall. Dry up thy tears, O thou that weepest, that on thy sight the rays may fall. No doubt let now thy bosom mar, send up the shout hurrah, hurrah. Shall we distrust the God of heaven? He every doubt and fear will quell, by him the captive's chains are riven, so let us loud the chorus swell. Man shall be free from cruel law, man shall be man, hurrah, hurrah. No more again shall it be granted to southern overseers to rule, no more will pilgrims' sons be taunted with cringing low in slavery's school. So clear the way for freedom's car, the free shall rule, hurrah, hurrah. Send up the shout emancipation from heaven, let the echoes bound, soon will it bless this franchised nation. Come raise again the stirring sound. Emancipation near and far, swell up the shout hurrah, hurrah. Harbinger of Liberty. Words by a Lady. Music by GWC. Listen PDF Lilliput, see yon glorious star ascending, brightly o'er the southern sea. Truth and peace on earth portending, herald of a jubilee. Hail it, freemen! Hail it, freemen! 'Tis the star of liberty. Dim at first but widely spreading, soon 'twill burst supremely bright, life and health and comfort shedding o'er the shades of moral night. Hail it, bondman! Slavery cannot bear its light. Few its rays is but the dawning of the reign of truth and peace, joy to slaves yet sad forewarning, to the tyrants of our race. Tremble, tyrants! Soon your cruel power will cease. Earth is brightened by the glory of its mild and peaceful rays, ransomed slaves shall tell the story, see its light, and sing its praise. Hail it, Christians! Harbinger of better days. Light of truth. Hark! A voice from heaven proclaiming comfort to the mourning slave. God has heard him long complaining, and extends his arm to save. proud oppression soon shall find a shameful grave. See. The light of truth is breaking, full and clear on every hand, and the voice of mercy, speaking, now is heard through all the land, firm and fearless, see the friends of freedom stand. Lo! The nation is arousing from its slumbers, long and deep, and the church of God is waking, never, never more to sleep, while a bondman, in his chains remains to weep. Long, too long, have we been dreaming, o'er our country's sin and shame, let us now, the time redeeming, press the helpless captive's claim, till, exulting, he shall cast aside his chain. Ode to James G. Birney. Words by Eliza Wright. Music by GWC. Listen PDF Lilliput. We hail thee, Birney, just and true, the calm and fearless, staunch and tried, the bravest of the valiant few, our country's hope, our country's pride. In freedom's battle take the van, we hail thee as an honest man. Thy country, in her darkest hour, when heroes bend at Mammon's shrine, and virtue sells herself to power, lights up in smiles at deeds like thine. Then welcome to the battle's van, we hail thee as an honest man. Thy own example leads the way from Egypt's gloom to Canaan's light, thy justice is the breaking day of slavery's long and guilty night, then welcome to the battle's van, we hail thee as an honest man. Thine is the eagle eye to see, and thine a human heart to feel, a worthy leader of the free, we'll trust thee with the nation's will, we'll trust thee in the battle's van, we hail thee as an honest man. An honest man God made thee on his noblest plan, to do the right and brave the scorn, to stand in freedom's hope forlorn, then welcome to the triumph's van, we hail thee as our chosen man. A tribute to departed worth 5. Listen PDF Lilliput. Oh, it is not the tear at this moment shed, when the cold turf has just been laid o'er him, that can tell how beloved was the soul that's fled, or how deep in our hearts we deplore him, 'tis the tear through many a long day wept, through a life by his loss all shaded, 'tis the sad remembrance fondly kept, when all other griefs have faded. Oh! Thus shall we mourn, and his memory's light while it shines through our hearts will improve them, for worth shall look fairer, and truth more bright, when we think how he lived but to love them. And as buried saints the grave perfume, where fadeless they've long been lying, so our hearts shall borrow a sweetening bloom from the image he left there in dying. The Liberty Voters Song. Words by E. Wright, Jr. Heir, from Neil Gow's Farewell. Listen PDF Lilliput. The vote, the mighty vote, though once we used a humbler note, and prayed our servants to be just, we tell the now they must, they must. Chorus. The tyrants grapple, by our vote, we'll loosen from our brother's throat, with Washington we here agree, the vote's the weapon of the free. We'll scatter not the precious power on parties that to slavery cower, but make it one against the wrong, till down it comes, a million strong. The tyrants grapple, and see. We'll bake the dough face with our vote, who stood the scorching when we wrote, and paler than the Milky Way, we'll bake the plastic face of clay. The tyrants grapple, and see. Our vote shall teach all statesmen law, who in the southern harness draw, so well contented to be slaves, they fain would prove their fathers knaves. The tyrants grapple, and see. We'll not provoke our wives to use a power that we through fear abuse, his mother shall not blush to own one voter of us for a son. The tyrants grapple, by our vote, we'll loosen from our brother's throat, with Washington we here agree, whose mother taught him to be free. The Liberty Ball. GWC Heir, Rosin the Bow. Listen PDF Lilliput. Come all ye true friends of the nation, attend to humanity's call, come aid the poor slave's liberation, and roll on the Liberty Ball and roll on the Liberty Ball and roll on the Liberty Ball, come aid the poor slave's liberation, and roll on the Liberty Ball. The liberty hosts are advancing for freedom to all they declare, the downtrodden millions are sighing, come, break up our gloom of despair. Come break up our gloom of despair, and see ye Democrats, come to the rescue, and aid on the liberty cause, and millions will rise up and bless you with heart-cheering songs of applause, with heart-cheering songs, and see ye Whigs forsake Clay and John Tyler. And boldly step into our ranks, we'll spread our pure banner still wider, and invite all the friends of the banks and invite all the friends of the banks, and see. And when we have formed the blessed union we'll firmly march on, one and all we'll sing when we meet in communion, and roll on the Liberty Ball, and roll on the Liberty Ball, and see. How can you stand halting while virtue is sweetly appealing to all? Then haste to the standard of duty, and roll on the Liberty Ball, and roll on the Liberty Ball, and see. The question of test is now turning, and freedom or slavery must fall, while hope in the bosom is burning, we'll roll on the Liberty Ball, we'll roll on the Liberty Ball, and see ye freemen attend to your voting, your ballots will answer the call, and while others attend to log rolling, we'll roll on the Liberty Ball, we'll roll on the Liberty Ball, and see. The trumpet of freedom. Hark! Hark! To the trumpet of freedom. Her rallying signal she blows, come, gather around her broad banner, and battle gainst liberty's foes. Our forefathers plighted their honor, their lives, and their property, to maintain in defiance of Britain, their principles, righteous and true. We'll show to the world we are worthy the blessings our ancestors won, and finish the temple of freedom that Hancock and Franklin begun. Hurrah, for the old-fashioned doctrine, that men are created all free. We ever will boldly maintain it, nor care who the tyrant may be. When Poland was fighting for freedom, our voices went over the sea, to bid her Godspeed in the contest that Poland, like us, might be free. When downtrodden Greece had uprisen, and baffled the Mahomet crew, we rejoiced in the glorious issue, that Greece had her liberty, to repeal. Do we also delight in 3 cheers for the gem of the sea? And soon may the bright day be dawning, when Ireland, like us, shall be free. Like us, who are foes to oppression, but not like America now. With shame do we blush to confess it, too many to slavery bow. We're foes unto wrong and oppression, no matter which side of the sea, and ever intend to oppose them, till all of God's image are free. Some tell us because men are colored, they should not our sympathy share, we ask not the form or complexion, the seal of our Maker is there. Success to the old-fashioned doctrine, that men are created all free. And down with the power of the despot, wherever his strongholds may be. We're proud of the name of a freeman, and proud of the character, too, and never will do any action, save such as a freeman may do. We'll finish the temple of freedom, and make it capacious within, that all who seek shelter may find it, whatever the hue of their skin. For thus the Almighty designed it, and gave to our fathers the plan, intending that liberty's blessings should rest upon every man. Then up with the capstone and cornice, with columns encircle its wall, throw open its gateway, and make it a home and a refuge for all. Break every yoke. Tune, oh no, we never mention her. Listen PDF Lilliput, break every yoke, the gospel cries, and let th oppressed go free, let every captive taste the joys of peace and liberty. Send thy good spirit from above, and melt th oppressor's heart, send sweet deliverance to the slave, and bid his woes depart. Lord, when shall man thy voice obey, and rend each iron chain, O when shall love its golden sway, o'er all the earth maintain? With freedom's blessings crown his day, o'erflow his heart with love, teach him that straight and narrow way, which leads to rest above. The Yankee Girl. Words by Whittier. Music by GWC. Listen PDF. Lilliput she sings by her will at that low cottage door, which the long evening shadow is stretching before, with a music as sweet as the music which seems breathed softly and faint in the ear of our dreams. How brilliant and mirthful the light of her eye, like a star glancing out from the blue of the sky. And lightly and freely her dark tresses play o'er a brow and a bosom as lovely as they. Who comes in his pride to that low cottage door, the haughty and rich to the humble and poor? 'Tis the great southern planter, the master, who waves his whip of dominion o'er hundreds of slaves. Nay, Ellen, for shame! Let those Yankee fools spin, who would pass for our slaves with a change of their skin. Let them toil as they will at the loom or the wheel, too stupid for shame, and too vulgar to feel. But thou art too lovely and precious a gem to be bound to their burdens and sullied by them. For shame, Ellen, shame, cast thy bondage aside, and away to the south, as my blessing and pride. Oh, come where no winter thy footsteps can wrong, but where flowers are blossoming all the year long, where the shade of the palm tree is over my home, and the lemon and orange are white in their bloom. Oh, come to my home, where my servants shall all depart at thy bidding and come at thy call. They shall heed thee as mistress with trembling and awe, and each wish of thy heart shall be felt as a law. Oh, could ye have seen her, that pride of our girls, arise and cast back the dark wealth of her curls, with a scorn in her eye which the gazer could feel, and a glance like the sunshine that flashes on steel. Go back, haughty Southron. Thy treasures of gold are dim with the blood of the hearts thou hast sold. Thy home may be lovely, but round it I hear the crack of the whip and the footsteps of fear. And the sky of thy south may be brighter than ours, and greener thy landscapes, and fairer thy flowers, but, dearer the blast round our mountains which raves, than the sweet summer zephyr which breathes over slaves. Full low at thy bidding thy negroes may kneel, with the iron of bondage on spirit and heel, yet know that the Yankee girl sooner would be in fetters with them, than in freedom with thee. Freedom's Gathering. Words from the Pennsylvania Freeman. Music by GWC. Listen PDF. Lilliput a voice has gone forth, and the land is awake. Our freemen shall gather from ocean to lake, our cause is as pure as the earth ever saw, and our faith we will pledge in the thrilling huzzah. Then huzzah, truth's glittering falchion for freedom we draw. Let them blacken our names and pursue us with ill, our hearts shall be faithful to liberty still. Then rally. Then rally. Come one and come all, with harness well girded, and echo the call. Thy hilltops, New England, shall leap at the cry, and the prairie and far distant south shall reply. It shall roll o'er the land till the farthermost glen gives back the glad summons again and again. Oppression shall hear in its temple of blood, and read on its wall the handwriting of God. Niagara's torrent shall thunder it forth, it shall burn in the sentinel star of the north. It shall blaze in the lightning, and speak in the thunder, till slavery's fetters are riven asunder, and freedom her rights has triumphantly won, and our country her garments of beauty put on. Then huzzah, truth's glittering falchion for freedom we draw. Let them blacken our names, and pursue us with ill, we bow at thy altar, sweet liberty still. As the breeze from the mountain sweeps over the river, so, changeless and free, shall our thoughts be, forever. Then on to the conflict for freedom and truth. Come matron, come maiden, come manhood and youth, come gather. Come gather. Come one and come all, and soon shall the altars of slavery fall. The forests shall know it, and lift up their voice, to bid the green prairies and valleys rejoice, and the Father of waters, join Mexico's sea, in the anthem of nature for millions set free. Then huzzah! Then huzzah! Truth's glittering falchion for freedom we draw. Be kind to each other. By Charles Swain. Be kind to each other. The night's coming on, when friend and when brother perchance may be gone. Then midst our dejection, how sweet to have earned the blessed recollection, of kindness returned. When day hath departed, and memory keeps her watch, broken hearted, where all she loved sleeps. Let falsehood assail not, nor envy disprove, let trifles prevail not against those ye love. Nor change with tomorrow, should fortune take wing, but the deeper the sorrow, the closer still cling. Oh! Be kind to each other. The night's coming on, when friend and when brother perchance may be gone. Praise and Prayer. Words by Miss Chandler. Listen PDF Lilliput praise for slumbers of the night, for the wakening morning's light, for the board with plenty spread, gladness o'er the spirit shed, healthful pulse and cloudless eye, opening on the smiling sky. Praise. For loving hearts that still with life's bounding pulses thrill, praise, that still our own may know earthly joy and earthly woe. Praise for every varied good, bounteous round our pathway strewed. Prayer. For grateful hearts to raise incense meet of prayer and praise. Prayer, for spirits calm and meek, wisdom life's best joys to seek, strength midst devious paths to tread that through which the Saviour led. Prayer. For those who, day by day, weep their bitter life away, prayer, for those who bind the chain rudely on their throbbing vein that repentance deep may win pardon for the fearful sin. The Slave's Lamentation. A parody by Tucker. Air, long, long ago. Listen PDF Lilliput, where are the friends that to me were so dear, long, long ago, long, long ago? Where are the hopes that my heart used to cheer? Long, long ago, long, long ago. Friends that I loved in the grave are laid low, all hope of freedom hath fled from me now. I am degraded, for man was my foe, long, long ago, long, long ago. Sadly my wife bowed her beautiful head long, long ago, long ago. Oh, how I wept when I found she was dead. Long, long ago, long ago. She was my angel, my love, and my pride. Vainly to save her from torture I tried, poor broken heart. She rejoiced as she died, long, long ago, long, long ago. Let me look back on the days of my youth long, long ago, long ago. Master withheld from me knowledge and truth long, long ago, long ago. Crushed all the hopes of my earliest day, sent me from father and mother away, forbade me to read, nor allowed me to pray long, long ago, long, long ago. The Stranger and His Friend. Montgomery and Denison. Tune, Duane Street. Listen PDF Lilliput, a poor wayfaring man of grief, hath often crossed me on my way, who sued so humbly for relief, that I could never answer nay, I had not power to ask his name, whither he went or whence he came, yet there was something in his eye, which won my love, I knew not why. Once, when my scanty meal was spread, he entered not a word he spake, just perishing for want of bread, I gave him all, he blessed it, brake, and ate, but gave me part again, mine was an angel's portion then, for while I fed with eager haste, the crust was manna to my taste. 'Twas night. The floods were out, it blew a winter hurricane aloof, I heard his voice abroad, and flew to bid him welcome to my roof. I warmed, I clothed, I cheered my guest, I laid him on my couch to rest, then made the ground my bed and seemed in Eden's garden while I dreamed. I saw him bleeding in his chains, and tortured neath the driver's lash, his sweat fell fast along the plains, deep dyed from many a fearful gash, but I in bonds remembered him, and strove to free each fettered limb, as with my tears I washed his blood, me he baptized with mercy's flood. I saw him in the negro pew, his head hung low upon his breast, his locks were wet with drops of dew, gathered while he for entrance pressed within those aisles, whose courts are given that black and white may reach one heaven, and as I meekly sought his feet, he smiled, and made a throne my seat. In prison I saw him next condemned to meet a traitor's doom at morn, the tide of lying tongues I stemmed, and honored him midst shame and scorn. My friendship's utmost zeal to try, he asked if I for him would die, the flesh was weak, my blood ran chill, but the free spirit cried, I will. Then in a moment to my view, the stranger darted from disguise, the tokens in his hands I knew, my Saviour stood before my eyes. He spoke, and my poor name he named of me thou hast not been ashamed, these deeds shall thy memorial be, fear not, thou didst them unto me. We're for freedom through the land. Words by J. E. Robinson. Music arranged from the old granite state. Listen PDF Lilliput, we are coming, we are coming. Freedom's battle is begun. No hand shall furl her banner ere her victory be won. Our shields are locked for liberty, and mercy goes before, tyrants tremble in your citadel. Oppression shall be o'er. We will vote for Bernie, we will vote for Bernie, we're for Morris and for Bernie, and for freedom through the land. We have hatred, dark and deep, for the fetter and the thong, we bring light for prisoned spirits, for the captives wail a song, we are coming, we are coming. And, no league with tyrant man, is emblazoned on our banner, while Jehovah leads the van. We will vote for Bernie, we will vote for Bernie, we're for Morris and for Bernie, and for freedom through the land. We are coming, we are coming. But we wield no battle brand, we are armed with truth and justice, with God's charter in our hand, and our voice which swells for freedom, freedom now and evermore shall be heard as ocean's thunder, when they burst upon the shore. We will vote for Bernie, we will vote for Bernie, we're for Morris and for Bernie, and for freedom through the land. Be patient, oh, be patient. Ye suffering ones of earth. Denied a glorious heritage, our common right by birth, with fettered limbs and spirits, your battle shall be won. Oh, be patient, we are coming. Suffer on, suffer on. We will vote for Bernie, we will vote for Bernie, we're for Morris and for Bernie, and for freedom through the land. We are coming, we are coming. Not as comes the tempest's wrath, when the frown of desolation sits brooding o'er its path, but with mercy, such as leaves his holy signet light upon the air in lambent beauty, when the darkened storm is gone. We will vote for Bernie, we will vote for Bernie, we're for Morris and for Bernie, and for freedom through the land. Oh, be patient in your misery. Be mute in your despair. While your chains are grinding deeper, there's a voice upon the air. Ye shall feel its potent echoes, ye shall hear its lovely sound, we are coming. We are coming. Bringing freedom to the bound. We will vote for Bernie, we will vote for Bernie, we're for Morris and for Bernie, and for freedom through the land. Note suggested by a song sung by George W. Clark, at a recent convention in Rochester, NY. We are all children of one parent. Words from the Youth's Cabinet. Music by L. Mason. Listen PDF Lilliput's sister, thou art worn and weary, toiling for another's gain, life with thee is dark and dreary, filled with wretchedness and pain, thou must rise at dawn of light, and thy daily task pursue, till the darkness of the night hide thy labors from thy view. Oft, alas, thou hast to bear sufferings more than tongue can tell, thy oppressor will not spare, but delights thy griefs to swell, oft thy back the scourge has felt, then to God thou st raised the cry that the tyrant's heart he'd melt ere thou should st in tortures die. Injured sister, well we know that thy lot in life is hard, sad thy state of toil and woe, from all blessedness debarred, while each sympathizing heart pities thy forlorn distress, we would sweet relief impart, and delight thy soul to bless. And what lies within our power we most cheerfully will do, that will haste the blissful hour fraught with news of joy to you, and when comes the happy day that shall free our captive friend, when Jehovah's mighty sway shall to slavery put an end, then, dear sister, we with thee will to heaven direct our voice, joyfully with voices free will in lofty strains rejoice, gracious God. Thy name we'll bless, hallelujah evermore, thou hast heard in righteousness, and our sisters' griefs are o'er. Manhood. By Robert Burns. Tune, Our Warriors' Hearts, page 128. Is there, for honest poverty, that hangs his head, and a that, the coward slave, we pass him by, we dare be poor, for a that, and a that, our toils obscure, and a that, the rank is but the guinea's stamp, the man's the goud, for a that. What though on homely fare we dine, wear hodden grey and a that, gie fools their silks, and knaves their wine, a man's a man for a that, the honest man though are so poor, is king o' men for a that, the rank is but the guinea's stamp, the man's the goud for a that. Then let us pray that come it may, as come it will, for a that sense and worth, o'er the earth, may bear the gree, and a that, for a that, and a that, it's coming yet, for a that man to man, the world all o'er shall brothers be, for a that. Terms explained goud gold. Hodden homespun, or mean. Gree honor, or victory. The Poor Voter's Song. Air, Lucy Long. They knew that I was poor, and they thought that I was base, they thought that I'd endure to be covered with disgrace, they thought me of their tribe, who on filthy lucre dote, so they offered me a bribe for my vote, boys. My vote. Oh shame upon my betters, who would my conscience buy? But I'll not wear their fetters, not I, indeed, not I. My vote? It is not mine to do with as I will, to cast, like pearls, to swine, to these wallowers in ill. It is my country's due, and I'll give it, while I can, to the honest and the true, like a man, like a man. Oh shame, and see. No, no, I'll hold my vote, as a treasure and a trust, my dishonor none shall quote, when I'm mingled with the dust, and my children when I'm gone, shall be strengthened by the thought, that their father was not one to be bought, to be bought. Oh shame, and see. The Flying Slave. From the Bangor Gazette. Ere to Greece we give our shining blades. The night is dark, and keen the air, and the slave is flying to be free, his parting word is one short prayer, O God, but give me liberty. Farewell, farewell, behind I leave the whips and chains, before me spreads sweet freedom's plains. One star shines in the heavens above that guides him on his lonely way, star of the north, how deep his love for thee, thou star of liberty. Farewell, farewell, behind he leaves the whips and chains, before him spreads sweet freedom's plains. For the election. Tune Scots Waha with Wallace bled. Ye who know and do the right, ye who cherish honor bright, ye who worship love and light, choose your side today. Succor freedom, now you can, voting for an honest man, or you may from slavery's span, pick a poke or clay. Boasts your vote no higher aim, than between two blots of shame that would stain our country's fame, just to choose the least? Let it sternly answer no. Let it straight for freedom go, let it swell the winds that blow from the north and east. Blot, the smaller is a curse blighting conscience, honor, purse, give us any, give the worse, 'twill be less endured. Freeman, is it God who wills you to choose, of foulest ills, that which only latest kills? No, he wills it cured. Do your duty, he will aid, dare to vote as you have prayed, who are conquered, while his blade served his open foes. Right established, would you see? Feel that you yourselves are free, strike for that which ought to be, God will bless the blows. Hail the day. Ere wreath the bowl. Hail the day whose joyful ray speaks of emancipation. The day that broke oppression's yoke, the birthday of a nation. When England's might put forth for right, achieved a fame more glorious than armies tried, or navy's pride, o'er land and sea victorious. Soon may we gain an equal name in honor's estimation, and righteousness exalt and bless our glorious happy nation. Brave hearts shall lend strong hands to rend foul slavery's bonds asunder, and liberty her jubilee proclaim, in tones of thunder. We hail afar fair freedom's star, her day star brightly glancing, we hear the tramp from freedom's camp, assembling and advancing. No noisy drum nor murderous gun, no deadly fiends contending, but love and right their force unite, in peaceful conflict blending. Fair freedom's host, in joyful boast, unfolds her banner ample. With Channing's fame, and Whittier's name, and Birney's bright example. Come join your hands with freedom's bands, New England's sons and daughters. Speak your decree, man shall be free as mountains, winds, and waters. And haste the day whose coming ray speaks our emancipation. Whose glorious light, enthroning right, shall bless and save the nation. From the Globe. The Ballad. By J. E. Dow. Air, Bonnie Doon, page 54. Dread sovereign, thou. The chainless will thy source, the nation's mighty heart, the ballot box thy cradle still, thou speak st, and 19 millions start, thy subjects, sons of noble sires, descendants of a patriot band, thy lights a million's household fires, thy daily walk, my native land. And shall the safeguard of the free, by valor won on gory plains, become a solemn mockery while freemen breathe and virtue reigns? Shall liberty be bought and sold by guilty creatures clothed with power? Is honor but a name for gold, and principle a withered flower? The parricide's accursed steel has pierced thy sacred sovereignty, and all who think, and all who feel, must act, or never more be free. No party chains shall bind us here, no mighty name shall turn the blow, then, wounded sovereignty, appear, and lay the base apostates low. The wretch, with hands by murder red, may hope for mercy at the last, and he who steals a nation's bread, may have oblivion's statute past. But he who steals a sacred right, and brings his native land to scorn, shall die a traitor in her sight, with none to pity or to mourn. The Spirit of the Pilgrims. Tune, Be Free, O Man, Be Free, page 134. The spirit of the Pilgrims is spreading o'er the earth, and millions now point to the land where freedom had her birth. Hark! Hear ye not the earnest cry that peals o'er every wave? God above, in thy love, O liberate the slave. Ye heard of trampled Poland, and of her sons in chains, and noble thoughts flashed through your minds and fire flowed through your veins. Then wherefore hear ye not the cry that breaks o'er land and sea, on each plain, rend the chain, and set the captive free? Oh, think ye that our fathers, that noble patriot band, could now look down with kindling joy, and smile upon the land? Or would a trumpet tone go forth, and ring from shore to shore, all who stand, in this land, shall be free for evermore? Great God, inspire thy children, and make thy creatures just, that every galling chain may fall, and crumble into dust, that not one soul throughout the land our fathers died to save, may again, by fellow men, be branded as a slave. What mean ye? Tune Ortonville. What mean ye that ye bruise and bind my people, saith the Lord, and starve your craving brother's mind, who asks to hear my word? What mean ye that ye make them toil, through long and dreary years, and shed like rain upon your soil their blood and bitter tears? What mean ye, that ye dare to rend the tender mother's heart? Brothers from sisters, friend from friend, how dare you bid them part? What mean ye when God's bounteous hand, to you so much has given, that from the slave who tills your land, ye keep both earth and heaven? When at the judgment God shall call, where is thy brother? Say, what mean ye to the judge of all to answer on that day? Hymn for Children. Air Miss Lucy Long. By W. S. Abbott. While we are happy here, in joy and peace and love, we'll raise our hearts, with holy fear, to thee, great God, above. God of our infant hours. The music of our tongues, the worship of our nobler powers, to thee belongs. The little, trembling slave shall feel our sympathy, O God. Arise with might to save, and set the captive free. No parent's holy care provides for him repose, but oft the hot and briny tear, in sorrow freely flows. The God of Abraham praise, the curse he will remove, the slave shall welcome happy days, with liberty and love. Pray without ceasing, pray, ye saints of God Most High, that all who hail this glorious day, may have their liberty. Liberty Glee. Tune the Pirates' Glee. March on. March on. We love the liberty flag, that's waving o'er our land, as fearless as the eagle soaring o'er the cloud-capped mountain crag. Slavery in terror flies before us, we fling our banner to the blast, it there shall flow triumphant o'er us, we will defend it to the last. March on. March on, and see vote on. Vote on, we hail the liberty flag, that leads us on our way, we'll boldly vote, our country saving, and bravely conquer while we may. The world is up for freedom moving, the thunder's distant roar we hear from land to land, the free are calling, and slaves with joy and rapture hear. Vote on. Vote on, and see march on. March on. Tune the Pirates' Glee. March on. March on, ye friends of freedom for all, for truth and right contend, be ever ready at humanity's call, till tyrant's power shall end. The proud slave-holders rule the nation, the people's groans are loud and long, arouse, ye men, in every station, and join to crush the power of wrong, march on, etc. Fight on. Fight on, ye brave, till victory's won, and justice shall prevail, till all shall feel the rays of liberty's sun, streaming o'er hill and dale. The tyrants know their guilt and tremble, the glowing light of truth they fear, then let them all their hosts assemble, and slavery's dreadful sentence hear. Fight on. Fight on, and see roll on. Roll on, ye brave, the liberty car, our country's name to save, soon shall our land be known to nations afar, as the home of the free and brave. The voice of freemen loud hath spoken, a brighter day we soon shall see, when slavery's chains shall all be broken, and all the captive millions free. Roll on, and see index. Transcriber's note, the original order of the entries in this index has been preserved. Page Am I not a man and brother, 56 Am I not a sister, 57 Afric's Dream 20 A Beacon has been lighted 74 A Vision 142 Are yet truly free, 126 A Tribute to Departed Worth 152 Brothers Be Brave for the Pining Slave 26 Blind Slave Boy 37 Bereaved Father 10 Bernie and Liberty 129 Ballot Box 130 Be Free. Oh man, be free, 134 Break every yoke 159 Be kind to each other 166 Comfort in affliction 44 Clarion of Freedom 80 Come join the abolitionists 96 Comfort for the bondman 108 Come and see the works of God 109 Christian Mother 131 Domestic Bliss 31 Emancipation Song 146 Fugitive Slave to the Christian 34 4th of July 88 Freedom's Gathering 164 Friend of the Friendless 103 Gone. Gone, sold, and gone 5 Get off the track 144 Heard ye that cry, 48 How long? Oh, how long? 33 Hark! I hear a sound of anguish. 24 Hail the day. 180 Hark! A voice from heaven. 110 Holy freedom. 120 Harbinger of liberty. 148 Hymn for children. 183 I would not lie always. 59 I am monarch of not I serve. 18 Liberty battle song. 128 Light of truth. 149 Liberty glee. 184 Manhood. 178 My child is gone. 43 March to the battlefield. 115 Myron Holly. 77 March on. March on. 184 Negro boy sold for a watch. 16 Oh pity the slave mother. 32 Our pilgrim fathers. 60 Our countrymen in chains. 76 On to victory. 83 Our countrymen are dying. 94 Oh charity. 101 Oft in the chilly night. 117 Ode to James G. Birney. 150 Prayer for the slave. 52 Pilgrim song. 86 Praise and prayer. 167 Poor voters song. 178 Quadroon maiden. 29 Remembering God is just. 53 Rise, Freeman rise. 73 Rouse up, New England. 70 Remember me. 73 Sleep on, my child. 49 Song of the Coffle Gang. 22 Slaves wrongs. 40 Stanzas for the times. 63 Slave boys wish. 9 Slave girl mourning her father. 12 Slave mother and her babe. 13 Strike for liberty. 82 Sing me a triumph song. 91 Song of the free. 118 Stolen we were. 140 The law of love. 100 The fugitive. 54 The poor little slave. 45 The bereaved mother. 46 The Negro's appeal. 14 The strength of tyranny. 36 To those I love. 66 The bondman. 87 The man for me. 84 The mercy seat. 102 The pleasant land we love. 112 The freed slave. 114 The liberty flag. 114 The liberty party. 132 The last night of slavery. 136 The little slave girl. 138 The liberty voters song. 154 The liberty ball. 156 The trumpet of freedom. 157 The slave's lamentation. 168 The stranger and his friend. 170 That's my country. 127 The flying slave. 179 The election. 180 The ballot. 181 The spirit of the pilgrim. 181 The ballot box. 130 Voice of New England. 78 Wake Sons of the Pilgrims. 92 What means that sad and dismal look. 8 We're coming. We're coming. 68 Wake, Sons of the Pilgrims. 92 We are come, all come. 99 We're for freedom through the land. 173 We are all children of one parent. 167 Wake, yeah Numbers. 104 What mean yeah, that yeah bruise and bind. 182 We ask not martial glory. 95 Yeah heralds of freedom. 58 Yeah spirits of the free. 90 Yeah sons of freemen. 121 Yankee girl. 160 Zaza. 50 Footnotes. 1 An African prince having arrived in England, and having been asked what he had given for his watch, answered, what I will never give again I gave a fine boy for it. 2 This song is said to be sung by slaves, as they are chained in gangs, when parting from friends for the far-off South. Children taken from parents, husbands from wives, and brothers from sisters. 3 Clay's body servant. 4 Scene in the nether world purporting to be a conversation between the departed ghost of a southern slave-holding clergyman, and the devil. 5 As sung by GWC at the erection of the monument to the memory of Myron Holly, Mount Hope, Rochester. It may be sung as a dirge. End of the Project Gutenberg ebook. The Liberty Minstrel updated editions will replace the previous one. The old editions will be renamed. Creating the works from print editions not protected by U.S. copyright law means that no one owns a United States copyright in these works, so the Foundation, and you, can copy and distribute it in the United States without permission and without paying copyright royalties. Special rules, set forth in the general terms of use part of this license, apply to copying and distributing Project Gutenberg trademark electronic works to protect the Project Gutenberg trademark concept and trademark. Project Gutenberg is a registered trademark, and may not be used if you charge for an ebook, except by following the terms of the trademark license, including paying royalties for use of the Project Gutenberg trademark. If you do not charge anything for copies of this ebook, complying with the trademark license is very easy. You may use this ebook for nearly any purpose such as creation of derivative works, reports, performances, and research. Project Gutenberg ebooks may be modified and printed and given away. You may do practically anything in the United States with ebooks not protected by U.S. copyright law. Redistribution is subject to the trademark license, especially commercial redistribution. Start. Full license. The full Project Gutenberg license. Please read this before you distribute or use this work to protect the Project Gutenberg trademark mission of promoting the free distribution of electronic works. By using or distributing this work, or any other work associated in any way with the phrase Project Gutenberg, you agree to comply with all the terms of the full Project Gutenberg trademark license available with this file or online at www.gutenberg.org/license. Section 1. General Terms of Use and Redistributing Project Gutenberg Trademark Electronic Works 1.a. By reading or using any part of this Project Gutenberg trademark electronic work, you indicate that you have read, understand, agree to and accept all the terms of this license and intellectual property, trademark/copyright, agreement. If you do not agree to abide by all the terms of this agreement, you must cease using and return or destroy all copies of Project Gutenberg trademark electronic works in your possession. If you paid a fee for obtaining a copy of or access to a Project Gutenberg trademark electronic work and you do not agree to be bound by the terms of this agreement, you may obtain a refund from the person or entity to whom you paid the fee as set forth in paragraph 1.e.8. 1.b. Project Gutenberg is a registered trademark. It may only be used on or associated in any way with an electronic work by people who agree to be bound by the terms of this agreement. There are a few things that you can do with most Project Gutenberg trademark electronic works even without complying with the full terms of this agreement. See paragraph 1.c below. There are a lot of things you can do with Project Gutenberg trademark electronic works if you follow the terms of this agreement and help preserve free future access to Project Gutenberg trademark electronic works. See paragraph 1.e below. 1.c. The Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, the Foundation or PGLOF, owns a compilation copyright in the collection of Project Gutenberg trademark electronic works. Nearly all the individual works in the collection are in the public domain in the United States. If an individual work is unprotected by copyright law in the United States and you are located in the United States, we do not claim a right to prevent you from copying, distributing, performing, displaying, or creating derivative works based on the work as long as all references to Project Gutenberg are removed. Of course, we hope that you will support the Project Gutenberg trademark mission of promoting free access to electronic works by freely sharing Project Gutenberg trademark works in compliance with the terms of this agreement for keeping the Project Gutenberg trademark name associated with the work. You can easily comply with the terms of this agreement by keeping this work in the same format with its attached full Project Gutenberg trademark license when you share it without charge with others. 1.d. The copyright laws of the place where you are located also govern what you can do with this work. Copyright laws in most countries are in a constant state of change. If you are outside the United States, check the laws of your country in addition to the terms of this agreement before downloading, copying, displaying, performing, distributing or creating derivative works based on this work or any other Project Gutenberg trademark work. The Foundation makes no representations concerning the copyright status of any work in any country other than the United States. 1.e. Unless you have removed all references to Project Gutenberg, 1.e.1. The following sentence, with active links to, or other immediate access to, the full Project Gutenberg trademark license must appear prominently whenever any copy of a Project Gutenberg trademark work, any work on which the phrase Project Gutenberg appears, or with which the phrase Project Gutenberg is associated, is accessed, displayed, performed, viewed, copied or distributed. This ebook is for the use of anyone anywhere in the United States and most other parts of the world at no cost and with almost no restrictions whatsoever. You may copy it, give it away or reuse it under the terms of the Project Gutenberg license included with this ebook or online at www.gutenberg.org. If you are not located in the United States, you will have to check the laws of the country where you are located before using this ebook. 1.e.2. If an individual Project Gutenberg trademark electronic work is derived from texts not protected by U.S. copyright law, does not contain a notice indicating that it is posted with permission of the copyright holder, the work can be copied and distributed to anyone in the United States without paying any fees or charges. If you are redistributing or providing access to a work with the phrase Project Gutenberg associated with or appearing on the work, you must comply either with the requirements of paragraphs 1.e.1 through 1.e.7 or obtain permission for the use of the work and the Project Gutenberg trademark as set forth in paragraphs 1.e.8 or 1.e.9. 1.e.3. If an individual Project Gutenberg trademark electronic work is posted with the permission of the copyright holder, your use and distribution must comply with both paragraphs 1.e.1 through 1.e.7 and any additional terms imposed by the copyright holder. Additional terms will be linked to the Project Gutenberg trademark license for all works posted with the permission of the copyright holder found at the beginning of this work. 1.e.4. Do not unlink or detach or remove the full Project Gutenberg trademark license terms from this work, or any files containing a part of this work or any other work associated with Project Gutenberg trademark. 1.e.5. Do not copy, display, perform, distribute or redistribute this electronic work, or any part of this electronic work, without prominently displaying the sentence set forth in paragraph 1.e.1 with active links or immediate access to the full terms of the Project Gutenberg trademark license. 1.e.6. You may convert to and distribute this work in any binary, compressed, marked up, non-proprietary or proprietary form, including any word processing or hypertext form. However, if you provide access to or distribute copies of a Project Gutenberg trademark work in a format other than plain vanilla ASCII or other format used in the official version posted on the official Project Gutenberg trademark website, www.gutenberg.org, you must, at no additional cost, fee, or expense to the user, provide a copy, a means of exporting a copy, or a means of obtaining a copy upon request, of the work in its original plain vanilla ASCII or other form. Any alternate format must include the full Project Gutenberg trademark license as specified in paragraph 1.e.1. 1.e.7. Do not charge a fee for access to, viewing, displaying, performing, copying or distributing any Project Gutenberg trademark works unless you comply with paragraph 1.e.8 or 1.e.9. 1.e.8. You may charge a reasonable fee for copies of or providing access to or distributing Project Gutenberg trademark electronic works provided that, you pay a royalty fee of 20% of the gross profits you derive from the use of Project Gutenberg trademark works calculated using the method you already use to calculate your applicable taxes. The fee is owed to the owner of the Project Gutenberg trademark, but he has agreed to donate royalties under this paragraph to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. Royalty payments must be paid within 60 days following each date on which you prepare, or are legally required to prepare, your periodic tax returns. Royalty payments should be clearly marked as such and sent to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation at the address specified in Section 4, Information about donations to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. You provide a full refund of any money paid by a user who notifies you in writing, or by email, within 30 days of receipt that he does not agree to the terms of the full Project Gutenberg trademark license. You must require such a user to return or destroy all copies of the works possessed in a physical medium and discontinue all use of and all access to other copies of Project Gutenberg trademark works. You provide, in accordance with paragraph 1.f.3, a full refund of any money paid for a work or a replacement copy, if a defect in the electronic work is discovered and reported to you within 90 days of receipt of the work. You comply with all other terms of this agreement for free distribution of Project Gutenberg trademark works. 1.e.9. If you wish to charge a fee or distribute a Project Gutenberg trademark electronic work or group of works on different terms than are set forth in this agreement, you must obtain permission in writing from the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, the manager of the Project Gutenberg trademark. Contact the Foundation as set forth in Section 3 below. 1.f1.f.1. Project Gutenberg volunteers and employees expend considerable effort to identify, do copyright research on, transcribe and proofread works not protected by U.S. copyright law in creating the Project Gutenberg trademark collection. Despite these efforts, Project Gutenberg trademark electronic works, and the medium on which they may be stored, may contain defects, such as, but not limited to, incomplete, inaccurate or corrupt data, transcription errors, a copyright or other intellectual property infringement, a defective or damaged disk or other medium, a computer virus, or computer codes that damage or cannot be read by your equipment. 1.f.2. Limited warranty, disclaimer of damages, except for the right of replacement or refund described in paragraph 1.f.3, the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, the owner of the Project Gutenberg trademark, and any other party distributing a Project Gutenberg trademark electronic work under this agreement, disclaim all liability to you for damages, costs, and expenses, including legal fees. You agree that you have no remedies for negligence, strict liability, breach of warranty or breach of contract except those provided in paragraph 1.f.3. You agree that the Foundation, the trademark owner, and any distributor under this agreement will not be liable to you for actual, direct, indirect, consequential, punitive, or incidental damages even if you give notice of the possibility of such damage. 1.f.3. Limited right of replacement or refund. If you discover a defect in this electronic work within 90 days of receiving it, you can receive a refund of the money, if any, you paid for it by sending a written explanation to the person you received the work from. If you received the work on a physical medium, you must return the medium with your written explanation. The person or entity that provided you with the defective work may elect to provide a replacement copy in lieu of a refund. If you received the work electronically, the person or entity providing it to you may choose to give you a second opportunity to receive the work electronically in lieu of a refund. If the second copy is also defective, you may demand a refund in writing without further opportunities to fix the problem. 1.f.4. Except for the limited right of replacement or refund set forth in paragraph 1.f.3, this work is provided to you as is, with no other warranties of any kind, express or implied, including but not limited to warranties of merchantability or fitness for any purpose. 1.f.5. Some states do not allow disclaimers of certain implied warranties or the exclusion or limitation of certain types of damages. If any disclaimer or limitation set forth in this agreement violates the law of the state applicable to this agreement, the agreement shall be interpreted to make the maximum disclaimer or limitation permitted by the applicable state law. The invalidity or unenforceability of any provision of this agreement shall not void the remaining provisions. 1.f.6. Indemnity. You agree to indemnify and hold the Foundation, the trademark owner, any agent or employee of the foundation, anyone providing copies of Project Gutenberg trademark electronic works in accordance with this agreement, and any volunteers associated with the production, promotion, and distribution of Project Gutenberg trademark electronic works, harmless from all liability, costs, and expenses, including legal fees, that arise directly or indirectly from any of the following which you do or cause to occur. A. Distribution of this or any Project Gutenberg trademark work. B. Alteration, modification, or additions or deletions to any Project Gutenberg trademark work, and C. Any defect you cause. Section 2. Information about the mission of Project Gutenberg trademark. Project Gutenberg trademark is synonymous with the free distribution of electronic works in formats readable by the widest variety of computers, including obsolete, old, middle-aged, and new computers. It exists because of the efforts of hundreds of volunteers and donations from people in all walks of life. Volunteers and financial support to provide volunteers with the assistance they need are critical to reaching Project Gutenberg trademark's goals and ensuring that the Project Gutenberg trademark collection will remain freely available for generations to come. In 2001, the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation was created to provide a secure and permanent future for Project Gutenberg trademark and future generations. To learn more about the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation and how your efforts and donations can help, see sections 3 and 4 and the Foundation information page at www.gutenberg.org. Section 3. Information about the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. The Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation is a non-profit 501(c)(3) educational corporation organized under the laws of the state of Mississippi and granted tax-exempt status by the Internal Revenue Service. The Foundation's IN or Federal Tax Identification Number is 64-6221541. Contributions to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation are tax-deductible to the full extent permitted by U.S. federal laws and your state's laws. The Foundation's business office is located at 809 North 1500 West, Salt Lake City, Utah 841-16801-596-1887. Email contact links and up-to-date contact information can be found at the Foundation's website and official page at www.gutenberg.org/contact. Section 4. Information about donations to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. Project Gutenberg trademark depends upon and cannot survive without widespread public support and donations to carry out its mission of increasing the number of public domain and licensed works that can be freely distributed in machine-readable form accessible by the widest array of equipment, including outdated equipment. Many small donations, $1 to $5,000, are particularly important to maintaining tax-exempt status with the IRS. The Foundation is committed to complying with the laws regulating charities and charitable donations in all 50 states of the United States. Compliance requirements are not uniform and it takes a considerable effort, much paperwork, and many fees to meet and keep up with these requirements. We do not solicit donations in locations where we have not received written confirmation of compliance. To send donations or determine the status of compliance for any particular state, visit www.gutenberg.org/donate. While we cannot and do not solicit contributions from states where we have not met the solicitation requirements, we know of no prohibition against accepting unsolicited donations from donors in such states who approach us with offers to donate. International donations are gratefully accepted, but we cannot make any statements concerning tax treatment of donations received from outside the United States. U.S. laws alone swamp our small staff. Please check the Project Gutenberg web pages for current donation methods and addresses. Donations are accepted in a number of other ways, including checks, online payments, and credit card donations. To donate, Please visit www.gutenberg.org/donate. Section 5. General information about Project Gutenberg trademark electronic works. Professor Michael S. Hart was the originator of the Project Gutenberg trademark concept of a library of electronic works that could be freely shared with anyone. For 40 years, he produced and distributed Project Gutenberg trademark ebooks with only a loose network of volunteer support. Project Gutenberg trademark ebooks are often created from several printed editions, all of which are confirmed as not protected by copyright in the US unless a copyright notice is included. Thus, we do not necessarily keep ebooks in compliance with any particular paper edition. Most people start at our website, which has the main PG search facility, www.gutenberg.org. This website includes information about Project Gutenberg trademark, including how to make donations to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, how to help produce our new ebooks, and how to subscribe to our email newsletter to hear about new ebooks. The Liberty Minstrel. Preface. The Liberty Minstrel. Gone, sold, and gone. What means that sad and dismal look? The slave boy's wish. The bereaved father. Slave girl mourning her father. The slave and her babe. The Negro's appeal. Negro boy sold for a watch. One I am monarch of not I survey. The Afric's dream. Song of the Coffle gang to hark. I hear a sound of anguish. Brothers be brave for the pining slave. The quadroon maiden. Domestic bliss. Oh pity the slave mother. How long? Oh, how long? The fugitive slave to the Christian. The strength of tyranny. The blind slave boy. Slave's wrongs. My child is gone. Comfort in affliction. The poor little slave. The bereaved mother. Heard ye that cry? Sleep on my child. Zaza the female slave. Prayer for the slave. Remembering that God is just. The fugitive. Am I not a man and brother? Am I not a sister? Ye heralds of freedom. I would not live alway. Our pilgrim fathers. Stanzas for the times. To those I love. We're coming. We're coming. Rouse up, New England. Rise, freemen, rise. Remember me. A beacon has been lighted. Our countrymen in chains. Myron Holly. Voice of New England against slavery. The clarion of freedom. Strike for liberty. On to victory. The man for me. Pilgrim song. The bondman. 4th of July. Ye spirits of the free. Sing me a triumph song. Wake, sons of the pilgrims. Our countrymen are dying. We ask not martial glory. Come, join the abolitionists. We are come, all come. The law of love. Oh, charity. The mercy seed. Friend of the friendless. Wake ye numbers. Comfort for the bondman. Come and see the works of God. Hark! A voice from heaven. The pleasant land we love. The freed slave. The liberty flag. March to the battlefield. Oft in the chilly night. Song of the free. Holy freedom. Ye sons of freemen. Are ye truly free? That's my country. Liberty battle song. Bernie and Liberty. The ballot box. Christian mother. The Liberty Party. Be free, oh man, be free. Arouse. Arouse. The last night of slavery. The little slave girl. Stolen we were. A vision for get off the track. Emancipation song. Harbinger of liberty. Light of Truth. Ode to James G. Birney. A tribute to departed Worth 5. The Liberty Voters Song. The Liberty Ball. The Trumpet of Freedom. Break every yoke. The Yankee Girl. Freedom's Gathering. Be kind to each other. Praise and Prayer. The Slave's Lamentation. The Stranger and His Friend. We're for freedom through the land. We are all children of one parent. Manhood. The Poor Voter's Song. The Flying Slave. For the Election. Hail the Day. The Ballad. The Spirit of the Pilgrims. What Mean Yet? Hymn for Children. Liberty Glee. March On. March On. Index. Footnotes. The full Project Gutenberg license PG3 PG4 PG5 PG6 PG7 PG8 PG9 PG10 PG11 PG12 PG13 PG14 PG15 PG16 PG17 PG18 PG19 PG20 PG21 PG22 PG23 PG24 PG25 PG26 PG27 PG28 PG29 PG30 PG31 PG32 PG33 PG34 PG35 PG36 PG37 PG38 PG39 PG40 PG41 PG42 PG43 PG44 PG45 PG46 PG47 PG48 PG49 PG50 PG51 PG52 PG53 PG54 PG55 PG56 PG57 PG58 PG59 PG60 PG61 PG62 PG63 PG64 PG65 PG66 PG67 PG68 PG69 PG70 PG71 PG72 PG73 PG74 PG75 PG76 PG77 PG78 PG79 PG80 PG81 PG82 PG83 PG84 PG85 PG86 PG87 PG88 PG89 PG90 PG91 PG92 PG93 PG94 PG95 PG96 PG97 PG98 PG99 PG100 PG101 PG102 PG103 PG104 PG105 PG106 PG107 PG108 PG109 PG110 PG111 PG112 PG113 PG114 PG115 PG116 PG117 PG118 PG119 PG 120 PG 121 PG 122 PG 123 PG 124 PG 125 PG 126 PG 127 PG 128 PG 130 PG 131 PG 132 PG 133 PG 134 PG 136 PG 137 PG 138 PG 139 PG 140 PG 141 PG 142 PG 143 PG 144 PG 145 PG 146 PG 147 PG 148 PG 149 PG 150 PG 151 PG 152 PG 153 PG 154 PG 155 PG 156 PG 157 PG 158 PG 159 PG 160 PG 161 PG 162 PG 163 PG 164 PG PG 165 PG 166 PG 167 PG 168 PG 169 PG 170 PG 171 PG 172 PG 173 PG 174 PG 175 PG 176 PG 177 PG 178 PG 179 PG 180 PG 181 PG 182 PG 183 PG 184